Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Recency Bias Radio, where no one is safe from criticism. I am your humble host, Dave Smith. This is the 23rd rant left in the dark. Why is it called that? Because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be brought to light tonight. And I am here with a great special guest. We were supposed to have this man coming through a few months ago. Couldn't do it at the time, but I am glad. Great things come to those who wait, because my brother Andrew Miller from Big Brother Canada 6 is finally here. The first Big Brother house guest / alumni to salute my channel. So he deserves all the respect from this chat room, all the respect from the video on demand, people commenting. Please give this man your salutations and your salutes. Thank you, my brother Andrew, for coming through. How you doing?
Let me say this.
Uh-oh.
You know, when you get out the house, you're overwhelmed with stuff. You know, the world. You're kind of, you know, getting back into the rhythm of life. And then, you know, you pick up your phone, you pick up your laptop, you start searching the web, you start trolling, seeing what was going on while you were gone. And there's a few people that held me down, but my guy, my light-skinned brother. When I saw the YouTube video, I was like, man, I can't wait to link with this man. I can't wait to be on the show. I saw the energy, I felt the passion. I was like, there gotta be a time when can I say Negroes? Two real Negroes.
You can say, hey, you know, you can say whatever you want on this channel.
Hey,
you know, you can say whatever you want.
Amazing podcast. I am one of your 1.7 subscribers, so definitely.
Yes, sir.
You know, I keep my ear to the streets to know what the reals are saying. You know what I mean?
You gonna fuck around and boost us to $2,000 by the end of the night.
We gotta do it. You know, like I feel, and I know you know this, but there's not a lot of people of color that truly represent the essence of what these shows are embodying. You know what I mean? Like, and to have like people that, you know, offer a different perspective, I think is definitely welcome. So I appreciate everything that you do, and I know that your following as well is like, yo, one of the realest podcasts on the nets. Just saying.
Yeah, man, this following was willing to go to war for you during BB 6. We was like, man, what the fuck? And it's funny, Drew, because whole time, I don't think I ever told you this, but when BB 6 came out, it was fresh off of Big Brother Celebrity. And I almost didn't do that season because I was really booked. I was real busy with work and whatnot. But it's crazy. Because of your twist, I couldn't help myself. I had to do the season. I said, I cannot let this brother go through this and not speak my mind. And then what happened to Brother Hamza shortly after? I said, oh, hell no. You know, I had to say something, coach. I couldn't go. Like, I really couldn't go.
Well, you know, Big Brother is known for expecting the unexpected. And of course, you know, fairness is definitely not in the Big Brother vocabulary. So things happen, you just got to roll with it. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And I think, and I'm glad that you mentioned that, because that's a great segue for us, because I think you and Swaggy, you two brothers, handled the situation you two were put in like gentlemen. Okay. Everyone loves to point out the black person who's a sore loser. But we don't give enough credit to the brothers and the sisters that have, you know what I'm saying, that honor about them, that integrity. They go out with class. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, in my real life, I run a charity not-for-profit. And,
yes, sir.
You know, I was very conscious going into the game that, you know what, I don't want to fuck up my money, bro. And
without a doubt.
I tried to play, you know, and my mom was watching. You know, I try to move a certain way, and I was raised to move a certain way. And I was, you know, I knew what I represented. I knew what I embodied. I knew what, at the end of the day, that I had to be more so than other people, more aware of how I handled myself. And of course, you know, sometimes you get a little upset. You know.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the game too.
That's part of the game too. And they messing with you in the house. That's part of the game too. You know that's coming. Yeah. You know what I mean.
And what really annoys me, Drew, is we didn't really get a chance to see you play, brother. I truly feel like we never saw your gameplay because, you know, they cut off the first week. So you don't get to see what happens before anything happens. Then when stuff jumps off, you're already compromised.
Yeah.
We can't even see you.
I was lit the first week, bro. And then that fire went out quick, fast. You know, that twist was crazy, man. And
see, this is why I'm so glad you're here, because you and Swaggy have so much in common. I'd argue without you being the And I'm in no way trying to sound disrespectful. For you being the test dummy with the heaven or hell twist, they were able to gauge if they could do this again and get away with it a second time. And see, here's what I want to drive home with the fans real fast. When a black player walks into a game, especially in Andrew's case, where outside of Hamza, there was really no other person who could relate to him. I'm sure Ryan was his friend, but no one really knew what it was like to be in Andrew's shoes besides maybe Hamza in that house. Is that safe to say?
Definitely. You know, Hamza and I linked up immediately. And the energy and the vibe was familiar. You
and
know
the only other black guy they kept behind another twist, so you never really got to be with Marin before you were compromised.
And then when Marin came in the house, they're like, yeah, we definitely got to get rid of Andrew's black ass because we don't want these two brothers linking up.
Exactly. And see, and that's the funniest thing. It's like two black people together. The only two black people in the show. Oh, we can't let them be close. It's a problem. It's like they're just two numbers. They have no clout.
I knew what it was when listen, man. You know what you're getting yourself into when you sign up for these things. You know what I mean? And I was fully aware how things were going to go, how the edit might come out. But you know, at the end of the day, like I knew that I was playing my authentic game, man. And you're right, I didn't really get a chance to play as much as I wanted to. But I think in the moments when I was able to showcase who I was as a person, my integrity, my personality, Streets was rocking with me, man. You know what I mean? But
yes, sir.
That's how the game goes, bro. You know, and I'm blessed in real life. So at the end of the day, like, you know, this is just like a wonderful platform for me to showcase the work we do in the community and also, you know, flex a little bit. You know, I got the Rock Yeezys on TV.
And I'm loving what you and your brothers are doing as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, you got a YouTube channel popping off. I mean, definitely plug that, my good sir.
Yeah, of course. You know, those Miller Boys, you can check us out on Instagram. You can check us out on the YouTube as well. But of course, the One More Wear Foundation is what we do here in Toronto, Canada. Of course, we do a charity not-for-profit. We do programming on body image, self-esteem, resume building, just how to prepare these young men and women for the future. You know what I mean? Like
changing lives. I love that.
Not everyone has the same sort of upbringing. I was very fortunate. I had both my mom and dad in my life, and you know, taught me a little, put me onto a certain game, and cleaned me up, and brought me, you know, to the place where I needed to be in life. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to give back to the community, man. Help a couple of brothers out the street, and you know, try to, you know, keep them fresh and swagged up. You know.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I was trying to give y'all a quick rundown on Andrew. If y'all have not checked out Big Brother Canada, this was our pitch to get y'all to watch his season real quick, because now we're going to segue into discussing BB20. That's why you all are here, ladies and gentlemen. So, Andrew, I got to ask you, do you at all feel sorry for Swaggy or not Swaggy, but Scotty for being sent home by an alleged ally like it happened to you with Ryan?
Well, you know what? It's funny how when you're in the house, a lot of things happen. And things changed very quickly. Scotty definitely was kind of out of pocket doing the rogue vote, but then he talked to Julie tonight and explained a bit of his thought process behind that. So it's also perspective too, right? If he felt that Fessy was kind of being messy to him and got rid of his mans, then you got to come. You know, I get that too. You know, I'm from Scarborough out here in Toronto, man. It ain't not nice out here, so I get how it moves sometimes. You know what I mean?
Murder on the beat.
If someone does something to you, you got to get him back. And then when you get him back, you know, you can hit him in the face or you hit him in the back. So I guess Scotty felt that he was trying to, you know, send a message that like, hey, I ain't nobody's goon. And I appreciate that sort of, you know what I mean? But like, hey, it came in, and like you said last week on your podcast, man, it really bit him in the back, bro. Like you have to move how you do. You can't, you know, you can't do dirt and expect it not to come back and get you.
Facts, man, facts. And, you know, and when I look at how the edit is specifically treating Tyler, you know, do you get any PTSD from watching your season if you were eliminated, seeing them dick ride certain people from BB Can 6? I mean, I'm not trying to get no one compromised myself, but I got to be honest, the favoritism, man, with Tyler, this is some new level stuff.
Well, you know what? He's I think there's a lot of comparisons to be made of Tyler and Erica. Like Erica and Tyler have a lot of the wonderful, good qualities. Like they're very sociable. Some people would say they fake. Some would say they're sociable. You know, it depends on how you look.
Yeah, some would say that means they're good at the game because they're fake. That
means they're good at the game too. But you know what? Eventually, just like Erica, I think Tyler's gonna have. He's gonna get sniped sooner or later, man. Too many. It's too many people he's trying to be loyal to. Too many people he's trying to, you know, put against each other, and eventually they're gonna talk to each other, and he's gonna get in trouble. So hey, man, you can only do that so long until, you know, your card gets pulled and you're out of pocket. You know.
Any chance Tyler is sitting at the end and gets Kayla, in your opinion, by a bitter jury?
Definitely. Like
Yes.
once, and I think even everyone knows you're in the jury house. You talk, right? You ain't got nothing. You ain't got
Nothing
nothing
to
but
do but
time
drink and
and
talk.
drink and talk in Big Brother, yo. So you're in there hanging out with the man. Them everyone's chatting up this, that, and you're like, yo, what do you think about Tyler? Oh, Tyler promised me final three. Wait a minute, he promised me final three too. And eventually you're gonna get caught, man. So like you might feel like he's on top of the world right now, but trust me, fam, he's gonna get what's coming to him. And I
I
can't
hope
wait.
so, bro.
Yeah,
I
me
hope so.
too. That's it.
Cause he's lifeguard Jesus, bro. I coined the nickname. I think it's run. I think it's like it just touched the grease, bro. It's on fire right now. That nickname clean right now.
No,
And
it's a
I
good
mean,
one. It's a good one. It's a good
Haley
one.
of Troy. That's another one that I think it's gonna stick. You know what I'm saying? I think that's gonna stick, Coach. You know what I'm saying? So
man.
another question I wanted to ask you, my brother Drew, is: can you please explain how difficult it is in the game socially to work your way out of a bad position after using a twist as a black player? And do you believe if a different player of your season that maybe wasn't black were to win your Heaven or Hell twist, do you think they would have also went out the next exact week? Or do you think you just had extenuating circumstances that led to being impossible for you to stay after using it?
Well, a little backstory. My strategy was to lay low, bro. Like I legit was like, yo, I ain't trying to do much. I'm a fan of the show. I'm a fan of. I know how it goes. I wasn't trying to do much. But then when I got the twist, it kind of forced me to be more. Some would say aggressive. But I was like, yo, my cards are kind of exposed. I had to play the game, so I had to play earlier and
Had to make
faster than a
8
lot of people.
enemies.
Exactly. And uh, Paris never forgave me. Paris, up until like we were outside. She already won the game, and then we all watched the first episode together. And Paris was still mad that I had put her in hell, and she had won the game. And I was like, "Yo, you came in with the Louboutins, you came in with the shiny dress. You looked like life was good. You could have sat in hell for a little while. You know what I mean?" But I knew that and even looking back at it now, like I don't think there's anything I could have done that could have saved me. Like someone said to me, "Oh, you should have saved all the women and put all the guys in hell." I'm like, yeah, but then I wouldn't have been cool with Hamza, and Ryan would have been like, yeah,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like the people that I legitimately liked wasn't gonna rock with me. You know what I mean? So either way I'm done. But I will say this. I did a meet and greet out in Niagara Falls, and I was we were taking some fan questions, and I said and Erica was there, and she said that, oh well, when Andrew got the goblet, everyone was over that the next week. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I think some people just don't understand the sort of dynamics that it is, what it's like to be a large bearded black man in that game. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to
Not trying to play the
I'm not
victim
trying
or
to portray his
nothing.
card.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to do
Exactly.
that, bro. But like, you know, I come
You're just
into the
speaking
house.
your truth.
This
That's
is
what
what
it's really about.
this is what it is, and people can take it how they want to, but like, you know, I'm a very large person. I have a bit of swag to me. I got a bit of energy to me, and some people are just like, damn, like, why you come in like this? Why you come in fresh? How can you so well spoken? It's just like a lot of things I think kind of make people uncomfortable, and maybe
And
the
see,
fact that I was
no,
so
go
kind
ahead. I'm
of
sorry.
sorry, let me just maybe the fact that I was just so assured. Like I know who I am, man. I'm a bit of an OG. I got a few grays in the beard. I've been around the block, man. You know what I mean? I know how to move, but like in the Big Brother house, it's a different game, and some of those personality things that are endearing and charming outside the house make people distrust you or think otherwise.
Yeah, and the only reason why I'm asking you this question is because how it ties to Swaggy. And see, my whole thing about this is I've been looking at it and I've been going, did they purposely select Swaggy to win that twist on purpose? Because here's my thing. Swaggy's a highly competitive man. He knows he's in a situation right now where he doesn't know if this is the HOH he's competing for or not. And see, since he's a super fan, he's thinking, I need the first HOH. Most black players, they're scared to be the first boot. So most of us are thinking if we win first HOH, we can at least dictate the pace of the game. We could get some allies here. So for a guy like Swaggy to go after it, it was misleading to him because they made him think it was HOH when he was going for it. If he would have known what that power truly was, maybe he still goes for it because he didn't want to take the chance. But at the end of the day, they robbed him of the choice, right? And I feel like the same thing can be said about you with the goblet. You were robbed of the choice. In fact, the choice was made for you, and yet the person who made the choice didn't have to fulfill the actual guidelines of the twist. And see, that's always been my problem. It feels like there is a fine print that can be instituted when it's convenient and when it's not. Okay? If we're going strictly by how the rules were set, you had no business having to do that twist. And Maddie does it. Who knows? Maybe you're in hell or heaven. But at the end of the day, I think you and Hamza make jury easily if Maddie's the one who did it compared to you, basically.
You know what? Maddie and I have talked about this. And of course, you know, I'm like, damn, look, why did you hand me the goblet? You know what I mean? But she obviously.
Why me?
You saw my face, bro. Real, that was real.
He was like, Arissa, really?
Yeah. I was like, Arissa knows my name? That's the first thing. Arissa's talking to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But you know, it's the game, bro. And you know, I've made peace with my my outcome. I know at the end of the day, Maddie definitely had no ill will. She was also just like, see, I was in the house with a bunch of servers, man. These servers are literally just like grabbing trays and like handing out drinks as if they're just at work. You know what I mean? And me, I'm like, all right, cool. I'll just take a drink. I'll pass a drink, and the drink tastes nice. You know what I mean? So they're passing.
Hey, that was a funny comp, yo. When y'all was throwing drinks at each other's face, incredible comp. Please bring that to US. People gonna take that shit personally. Bring that to US.
Shout out to Trevor. That was definitely a wonderful comp, a mind fuck as well. Because then it also weighs on you like, well, these are what people really think of me. I know Paris had a bit of a hard time when people thought that she was dumb. Even though they made it look like she was okay with, like, I know she definitely did not like that people thought she was dumb. I definitely felt the type of way. People thought I was not trustworthy. My whole business, and you know what I mean? And I'm like, bro, like, my whole life, I had to like prove myself to people to show them that I was honorable, that I was, you know, someone to be trusted. And even the work that I do, we do work with such transparency to kind of know all that stuff. So for me to be cast in that sort of way, I was like, man, this is so wrong. But at the end of the day, like, and even if you look at that comp, I was so happy that Ryan won. I'm like, oh, we're good. I get a week off to just kind of, you know, and disaster.
So I gotta ask you, as someone who is an alumni of Big Brother Canada, this is a question that has been asked, you know, all the time, you know, water cooler conversation. I gotta ask you, if there was a Big Brother US versus Big Brother Canada season, first off, do you think it will happen? And two, would you sign up for that thing?
I think there definitely needs to be an international merger of the two. You know, Ika, of course, Queen Ika, shout out to Ika. Wonderful young lady.
Shout out to Queen Ika.
Queen Ika as well. But, you know, I feel like we have such polarizing personalities over here in Canada that some of the Americans know. I don't, you know, some people, the game doesn't transfer over, but we got some players out here, man. And when I went to the alumni party out here, like, shout out to my guy, Emmett. Emmett is probably the most diesel cop beast dude I've ever seen. And
he cheats at comps here and there, but yeah, he a savage.
In real life, bro, he's like supreme alpha male, and you know, I'm no slouch neither, so I don't, you know, real recognize real. So
and that's what I always say since the beginning, Drew. Alpha males respect alpha males, and that's why I had a problem with Tyler, because it seems like he has been shook of alpha males since the beginning of this game.
He's you know, bro, like Tyler's not about that, bro. You know that.
We know.
I saw the Ika interview, and I'm like, nah. Like I peeped game a long time ago. I can't rate this man. You know what I mean? But Fessy's doing his thing. What are your thoughts on Fessy? Can we talk about Fessy?
Let's talk about Fessy, fam. I mean, at the end of the day, I've said this several times. Terrible move to throw up Scotty. But when you add the context of Scotty spreading information that was really regurgitated from Brett's mouth, Tyler's mouth, then eventually when it's convenient buying into it because he's at a low point emotionally, I just thought it was weak from a game playing standpoint. It's like, Scotty, you've waited your entire life for this moment. It's safe to say you care more about Big Brother than you care about women. Then you let a woman conflict your Big Brother game?
She's pretty though, bro. She's pretty though.
She is pretty. She's Haley of Troy for a reason. She's Haley of Troy for a reason, coach. But at the end of the day, if okay, put it this way. If I'm a virgin, okay, like look, when we were virgins, we know what it felt like.
He's lying. Stop this.
I think he could be playing. He from Chicago. I think he could be bullshit.
The DMs flooded when he gets out to be like,
he definitely ain't gonna be a virgin when this game over. But that's gonna be over with, coach. But Shout outs to Scotty. But yeah, man, but at the end of the day, Scotty, you know, I look at it from the perspective of if you're truly a virgin, okay, I'm just gonna go with that for a second, that qualifier. If you're truly a virgin, my thing is, since you haven't experienced that yoni, you shouldn't be crazy over it yet. And if you ain't crazy over it yet, you need to be game botting this shit up, coach. You feel me? And I feel like he allowed Sam, of all people, arguably one of the worst players to ever play Big Brother US. You let her tell you how to approach being on the block? Are you kidding me? And then when Sam, the person who's clearly had it out for Haley from the get-go, for you to buy into this, to get Haley put up, then when Haley confronts you and asks what's going on, you tell her half of the truth. Then you try to make up back for it by running a Fessy and say, hey, throw up Sam. The deed's done already. You've already gone to Sam, told her a final two exists. Now she definitely doesn't trust you because you were willing to have a final two with Haley, who she absolutely hates. Okay. And the thing is, a lot of people think I have a problem with Scotty. It's actually the opposite. My thing is, when you are a super fan, I have to grade you on a higher curve. I can't grade you on Fessy's curve because Faisal don't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah, agree.
You feel it, dig me?
Agree.
Like Faisal is like me, a guy that barely does yoga, all of a sudden showing up to the U.S. men's gymnastics team. Like, hey, coach, can I do that high bar? It's like, nah, bro, you gonna break something. Maybe a part of your body first, but you're going to break something. You know, I know my talents and I know when I'm not good at something. Whereas Faisal, you can tell production's in his head. They're like, look, you and JC could be on Amazing Race. So he's keeping that door open. Oh, you and Haley could be on Amazing Race. Let's keep this door open. You see what I'm saying? So he's almost hedging, but he's like, well, I know for one thing, I'm not going to let Scotty take my girl and I'm stuck with JC over here in this moist man's. So I get where he's coming from. But yeah, what's your thoughts on Faisal?
You know what? I think Faisal, I loved his story. Of course, being a Muslim American brother, of course, being a teacher, a mentor to the youth. You know, I'm like, yeah, salute that guy. You know, he's a big guy too. He says he's 6'5", too. You know, I'm like, yo, big guy. I loved his story. You know what I mean? But I will say, you're in the house a long time, and if you're used to having that certain female energy around you. You know what I mean? I'm sure Faisal in real life is doing quite well with the ladies. And if you go through a bit of a dry spell, you know, you kind of yearn for that sort of attention. So, you know, it's easy to get distracted. You know, pretty eyes, smell, you know, the women smell good. You know what I mean? And it's easy to get distracted and kind of lose focus on what's really important. But I will say that JC is also really killing this guy.
He is killing them.
The whole Geppetto edit that he is getting, mastermind evil Chucky edit that they're giving JC, man. I'm like, well, salute to JC, because at least he's, you know, he's playing the game, and his putting them against each other, the inserting the jealousy. Come on, man. Like,
and let's be real, every lie has a little bit of truth in it if it's believable. You know, and at the end of the day, Scotty, in the dumbest way possible, admitted, I'm a little smitten with her. I'm like, Scotty, what are you doing, coach?
Even the exit interview with Julie, where he couldn't quite express how he truly felt. I'm like, bro, you's a sucker, bro.
I'm like, bro, you acting like Haley watching this right now. Like, bro, chill. If I'm him, the first thing I would have said, well, man, I'm over her. Then my DMs really would have been flooded. Because it's like, oh, he over that? Yeah. I got a shot. You know how many girls want to give him AFP and that yoni now? Scotty, you better play the field, coach.
Salute to Scotty. I'm sure he'll be just fine once it's all said and done. You know, there's a bit of a wave post show, so I'm sure he'll be happy to reap the benefits of such, you know.
So what is that whirlwind like right after the show is over, like right after finale, and you got to go back to your regular life? Well, I guess for you, because you weren't in sequester all that time, I guess it was different as soon as you got out, as opposed to as soon as the game was over.
Well, for me, when I got out, I hopped back to life, and then it took about 2 weeks to fully kind of shake the haze of Big Brother, like being able to wake up when you want, not feeling like you gotta like hide your penis in certain times. You know what I mean? Like you can walk around your house and not feel like there's cameras on you. But for me, like I had to go back, and that was the mind fuck. like having to go back into the house, having to go back into that environment after kind of escaping it. So I was like, oh man. And then it was like the finale was just like, oh man, I know why they have psychs for certain. You know, what I mean, it's a bit of a mind fuck in terms of like how to like deal with everything post. But I was good, man. Like I know that there's a lot of people post show that had a really hard time kind of letting go of the game. And
Yeah.
a lot of the conversations that they had with people were so game focused. I'm like, yo, game's over. Paris won. You know what I mean? Like, what's popping? The Raptors
And I
still
already
looking
know
good.
who you low key dry snitching on. That sound like some Dayla shit going
I have
on.
no comment. No comment. No comment.
Because
But
I'm thinking,
but
who
I'm
would have
saying,
the most to gain from these
but
questions?
even Ryan, that's my guy. Like even himself, he would definitely admit to you, like even being locked up in the house so long, and there's a lot of stuff that happened in the news at that time as well. And
Mm.
Ryan's a big news guy. I'm a big news guy as well. So he had 1,000 questions. Even like we just finished wrapping the show, and I think there's a conversation. Like he had started asking me questions about life outside the house while we were still on stage with Arissa as confetti is falling. Like it's really hard, man. And especially like you have family, you have friends, and it's a bit of a trip to be able to shake it and to kind of readjust to society, man. Like, and then your DMs is blowing up. Old things that you used to talk to are like hitting you up, and people that you don't talk to are more sharing old photos of you. It's really weird, man. So it's
It's
definitely
like
gonna take a
everyone is trying to take credit for knowing you now.
bro.
It's like
I'm
I had some impact on him getting on this show because we took this picture when we were like 17. Like it's like, bro, the clout chasing. Yeah, I can imagine.
yeah, and
And see,
especially
that's why I don't go out of my way to like be extra thirsty. Say, hey man, can you come on and do this rant with me? It's for that reason alone. I know when people get out of this game, they want a break, dog.
yeah. No, I'm a big Survivor guy. I still haven't watched last season episode like last season because it felt I was like, bro, I'm done with watching shit on reality TV.
Oh,
Like
you gonna love that season.
it took me. I know who won. I know who won. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
But
Yes, sir. Wakanda
but
forever.
I gotta go back and watch. Even my guys, my boy Tom Wang was like, bro, like I know you love Survivor. You gotta. This season is wild, bro. But anyways,
Yeah.
it's
Lucky, yeah.
there's nothing. Some people just need a bit more time to readjust and to reconnect. And it's not being thirsty because you know what? Like, I think as you go through your Instagram, as you go through your Facebook or any version of social media, you'll kind of see who was holding you down and who was talking
Mhm.
shit. You know what I mean? So I know there's a couple people that I couldn't wait to see. I'm like, you motherfucker, I read that tweet, bitch.
That's gonna be
But,
swaggy with Tyler, man. That's gonna be
yeah,
swaggy
yeah,
with. It's
yeah,
like, hey man, you had a lot to say. And see, that's another thing I wanted to ask you. Like, do you think there's a limit to social gameplay or strategic gameplay? Like, because I feel like for Tyler to use the death of their fathers to bring them closer, then also use that as the excuse to get rid of them in such a snaky way. Excuse me. I felt like production owed it to the casual audience to be transparent about why Swaggy trusted him so much. But instead, they almost made it seem like Swaggy's just an idiot, so he trusts Tyler because Tyler was so much of a mastermind.
yeah.
And that's my problem because I know for a fact that when it comes to a black man and him having a relationship with his black dad, especially in America, where it's systematically, and I'm sure it's like this everywhere to a degree, but where it's systematically put together so you don't have the father in your home. For this to be used in some way as strategy to get this black guy to be on your side, to me, I think it takes an even shystier kind of person, not even a player, to even think of that. Am I wrong for thinking that way?
You're not wrong, but people will say some. This is what killed me. People will say, "Oh, it was just a game," and it's not just a game because the conversations, how I move in my real life, is exactly how I moved on the show. And I expect everyone, or I expected, and maybe that's my downfall. I expected everyone to kind of move the same way. I had conversations with Erica about my family, about my nephew, like my people in my house and I never had those conversations with like I would say like an Olivia or an Alex. I had real conversations with people that I really rocked with. And when I got when she took me out of that competition, I'm like, bitch, what is you doing?
Ooh,
You know what I mean? And I think
yeah.
that's what people like and to come after people that aren't coming for you. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way Swaggy was kind of come after Tyler. They just
No,
bonded over the loss of their dads. So for him to be
right.
like, yeah, let me come after this guy, it's like,
It's a
you know,
spook move. Like it's like
it's
you
a
shook.
yeah, it's
It's like
something
you
that
don't want to see that man in a win or go home situation. You don't want to deal because you know his hunger is different from yours. So it's like I can't even get him to that moment because I know I'm gonna get yoked. And see, that's my problem. People say it's just a game, but they conduct themselves in the way that people treat us in everyday life in the game. So it's not just a game.
it's not
This
just a game.
is
Yeah,
exactly.
it's
This
never.
is
Yeah,
this is in a nutshell what it's like in the real world. You know, you see
exactly.
two black people out of 16 together and y'all immediately think those two are the most threatening out of the other 14. You know what I'm saying? It's like, huh? Like, in my opinion, the most threatening should be the biggest group, no matter what race they are.
Hey man, I wasn't a part of the cool kids, bro. And as much as I tried, like I knew at the end of the day, like I was at the disadvantage there, and I knew,
Do
having
you
Marin
think
in the house
it's
was
easy for a black player to be part of the cool kids
oh
in Big
no, it's
Brother?
fucking it's hard. It's damn near. Name one.
Yeah,
Name one.
that's why I didn't want people to say that's your fault after
No,
the fact. Be
no.
like, it's
Name
your fault you
name
weren't on the cool
name
kids,
name
Drew.
one.
No,
Name
no,
one.
it's
There's
not.
nothing. There's so much we could try to do, but then at the end of the
Right.
day, like if they don't relate to our life, bro. They don't relate to our struggle. They don't understand our perspective. You know what I mean? They don't get what it's like to be, and I had a conversation with Erica after. I don't, and I was talking to her like, well, she's dating a woman of color. So for me to like literally have a white person that understands an ally or what it's like to have an ally, you know what I mean? And she, and I was like, damn, like, and she said to me like, oh, I couldn't imagine what it was like to be you in the house. And I thought to myself, bitch, you cut me. You know what I mean?
No,
Like
you could imagine because
yeah,
you jumped on the bandwagon to get rid of me. So
no,
you
for
did
sure, no,
imagine
for
it,
sure, no, for
and you
sure.
jumped on the right side of what
Yeah,
you saw.
yeah, yeah. No, but
See that to me is shitting on my intelligence by
no, for
saying
sure,
that to me. It's
no, for sure.
placating.
Like, listen, man, but like I said, bro, I live a blessed life, man, and I feel like
Right, right. Yeah. We're not
you
trying to
can't,
turn this into
you,
a post
you
BB
can't,
Camp 6 beat for them.
yeah. No, but I get like I related to Swaggy's, I related to Bailey's, when she was having that big blowout argument with everyone in the house. My heart broke for her, bro. My
Yeah,
heart
because
broke for her because
while we both can agree she took it too far,
yeah,
at the end of the day, she had so much pent up rage for so long,
yeah,
it came out. You
yeah.
feel me? And see the thing is though, the other players, they can have this rage and they can snap off. And depending on if production favors them or not, it's like the underdog sticking up for themselves.
Yep.
But if they don't like you, it's almost like the sore loser mad that they're on their way out. You know, that's how they can switch it depending on how they choose to flip it. But I'm glad you mentioned what you did about Erica because I feel like KC, in a nutshell, her exes seem to be all black women. And it seemed to be she was the one who had a problem with Swaggy. She implied that she thought he was a homosexual. So she was jealous of his relationship with Bailey. Okay, she claimed to be very close to Bailey, but she did absolutely nothing to fill her in on information. She allowed her to be fed to the wolves. And then with Faisal, she's always been beefing with Faisal. So I'd argue her having an ex-girlfriend that may be of color, may not be of color, that did nothing for her approaching this game at all either. It's almost as if just because, well, it's always been this way in my opinion. A racist, and I'm not implying anyone's racist here, but I'm just saying though, racists can date people of other races and still be racist. And so some people think, oh well, if they're having sex with this person, that clearly must mean they're all for equality. No, there's levels to this stuff. Okay, this could just be some fantasy stuff, but I don't want to take it out of context completely. But all I want to say is, at the end of the day, the same way you probably assume, okay, Erica, she's been around the system before. She might understand me a little bit better. I can get close to this girl, and she's more kind of a guy's girl than a girl's girl. So we'll be able to, find a lot of common ground here. I think Bailey saw the same thing with Casey. And I think I'd argue Casey betrayed her in a similar fashion to how Erica betrayed you.
I could definitely see the correlations there. It's convenient when she wants it to be convenient. You know what I mean? Like you can jump back and forth, but at the end of the day, salute to all the people that Rockstar, amazing ally, amazing perspective that she brought to the game. I was a big fan of Rockstar. I thought that
unique.
unique, and she was, some people, I hate to use the word woke because Jesse killed the word woke in my
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, dude, I'm woke right now.
That's another, and you know what? He didn't know what the word meant until Erica told him what the word meant. So it's like,
cultural
come on.
appropriation. Oh, here we go.
So I will say that Rockstar is definitely aware. She's definitely understanding and compassionate, and you can tell she's been around a few brothers or sisters in her day. Shout out to her girl Cinnamon. You know what I mean? Who understand our perspective and our struggle. So it's great to have people that understand. And even I'll even mention this about Ryan. Ryan, he does a lot of work with the CFL. He talks to a lot of football players.
Oh.
You know what I mean? He has his own podcast. Shout out to the podcast and the Stampeder fans out in Calgary. But he mentioned to me like he doesn't have a lot of black friends, but he has a lot. You know what I mean? So,
but you know what? I respect that though, because a lot of people would be quick to tell you what, Drew. They would say, "I have black friends."
Of course.
But he was honest and said he didn't, and still was your friend. To me, that says a lot about his character.
Yeah. There's a lot of conversations that we had about race relations, and even we talked about having our own podcast to kind of debunk and just talk about the differences and similarities between the two. You know what I mean? But he's out in Calgary. There's definitely not as many people of color out there. And I'm from Toronto, which is very diverse. So I think we just have different perspectives, and it's about sharing stories. You know what I mean? And I'm going to shout out Rosina too. Rosina, wonderful lady.
Nice lady. I like Rosina.
Kuwaiti refugee from Kuwait. Cancer survivor. Wonderful story that we also didn't get to hear more about as well. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you can't relate to people, either culturally or for age or whatever reason, you think they're weird, you think they're odd, and you got to get rid of them, right? So people are
Poppin' Paul.
Exactly.
They got rid of Poppin' Paul because he was older and outspoken.
Yeah, that was my guy. Shout out to Paul. We went to an Argos game. We linked up too, and we have wonderful conversations. And man, I'm just a student of life. It's beyond
man.
Big Brother,
I think a Big Brother Canada versus Big Brother US season would be incredible. Honestly, I think if they were to hide a Big Brother US versus Big Brother Canada behind the branding of a BB celebrity, I think it would be ingenious because no one would see it coming.
Yeah.
No one would be revealed anything. Now, I know most likely CBS won't go for that because they want the celebs to bring in fans that don't follow the game. Then you have more people watching the normal show. I get that part of it. But I do think it would be wise, though, for US to put it on CBS.
I think it'd be dope if, the OT, over the top Big Brother that you guys had, the online version there. Maybe do an online version of that.
Oh, that would be dope.
What did you think of that?
I thought it was probably... I think that was the most game-changing season of Big Brother we've ever had because it finally allowed us to see behind the scenes. Since you've played it, so you know what behind the scenes is like firsthand. For someone like me who's always wanted to see that but never could, especially those DR sessions, my brother, because I always want to know what leads to people saying those real awkward, real cringy like lines, and it's because someone keeps asking them to repeat it until they say it the way they want. And see, that's what drives me nuts about JC. But I'll get into that later. But yeah, 100%, bro. I legitimately think OTT changed the way the majority of superfans gauge Big Brother US because now we know what production is capable of and what they aren't. Now, it's pretty safe to say during OTT, production probably was being as straightforward as they possibly could because because they let America do the voting and stuff like that. We watched the DR, so they probably put their best foot forward for the first time in many of years that season. And they probably also did it to throw us off the scent a bit to make us think, oh, every season is going to be that simple. Like, I think we can all pretty much bet on the fact that this Tyler situation with him having twice the amount of confessionals as the next person on his season shows that this is nowhere near the same even playing field as OTT. And yeah, I really did like OTT. What was your thoughts on OTT?
Shout out to Danielle. Beautiful, athletic, smart.
Yeah, she's been on Twitter talking that ish.
I like. Listen, bro, you know me. I like a little controversy. I like people.
Oh yeah.
Who
doesn't, Coach? We Black Twitter.
But no, like as a fan, like I love it. I love it all, man. I didn't get
Justin.
to watch it as much. Salute to Justin. Played a solid.
If Justin was on Big Brother Canada, I think he could have done some things. I think he could have done some things.
People have told me that I belong on the U.S. version of my style of game was more American than Canadian because I tried to play a kind of not aggressive. I had no choice but to play aggressive. I would have tried to be
Honestly,
more Canadian and more low key, but it's like I didn't have the choice, man. So
the more I think about it, you kind of had some swaggy C swagger because you had nice fashion going for you, but you didn't have your name on your clothing. Okay, so I think if Swaggy would have been able to come in with some like nice designer clothing with no name on the back and just be who he is without speaking in third person, I definitely think if you were in his position, and I definitely for a fact know you would have been smart enough not to actually compete for the heaven or hell. You would have been like,
I was like, go ahead. But
yeah, because your game was to lay low, so you wouldn't have wanted one.
They would have definitely put my black ass in hell. You know that.
On the real,
I would have been. Oh, him? Yeah, hell for sure. 1,000%.
But at least you would have been there with 7 other people. You could have bonded on being there with 7 other people, and you would have made jury. Like and you saw that red room, all of them motherfuckers made jury. Damn.
Yeah. But you know, shout out to Swaggy. Swaggy's a dope guy. We chat. You know, we follow each other on the social media, and you know, I shoot him a couple DMs, and you know, I'm on his live talking shit too. You know, but good dude. You know, I relate to that young energy, man. I get it. I was that dude too. Like I let my mouth talk. Let my. You know, I was that guy. But you know, that's how the game goes. That's
man.
That's normal for us.
It's youthful exuberance, man.
That's what it is. That's how we were raised. We were raised to talk trash.
It's charisma.
Have a little sauce to us. You know what I mean? We all can't be bland chicken, bro. Some people like a little seasoning. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Some people like some Frank's Red Hot on deck. You know,
I get. You know,
some sweet baby Rays.
So for people that aren't used to Swaggy or how he speaks, how he moves, his haircuts or whatever, like, bro, that's nothing for black people. That's nothing, bro. I was happy to see a brother like that on the show. I'm glad they casted him like that.
I was very refreshed. Now I ain't gonna lie. At first, I was worried. You know, I was very skeptical of the brother because I wasn't sure because I didn't see his interviews yet. I only saw what was shown to me. So I was like, then I saw his interview. I was like, oh, this brother knows what he's doing. Hold up. You feel me? Because you can point out a real super fan from a faux super fan any day with their interviews.
He knew what it was. Yeah, but
for them, after he got evicted to show his pregame interview, notice they haven't showed anyone else's pregame interview after they got eliminated to shame them. You know, but you show this to Swaggy. You know, for that they better bring him back on another season.
They're definitely got to bring him back. Like bro.
You
like,
got to.
His energy is infection. Everyone's still talking about him. Like he's the man, bro. And like to deny that, you hating. And I'm not a hater, bro. We don't.
My man's was the second boot, and we still talking about him.
He got his own side story going to check Bailey's mama.
Yeah, and now he got Bailey's mom saying "gang, gang." Yeah, like it's lit. It's lit. Like what's going on?
But even Bailey's mom's like, "Yo, Swaggy sees a character, but Christopher, that's my man's." So
exactly. Like and see, that's the thing. People don't know. Like there's a flip we could turn on and turn off. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, if Swaggy were to been this humble, quiet dude, he doesn't make it on the show. But let's say he's his normal self and then gets put on the show, and then he becomes this humble version of himself just to make jury. He has no chance of winning. Now he's just a Ramses.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? Even Marin, like, you know, people were talking shit about Marin.
And Marin was the nicest guy in the world.
Sweetest. He's 22. He's a young brother from Edmonton. You know what I mean? Like, this is his time to be on. And he was it's a very overwhelming experience. Not everyone kind of can handle it a certain way. You know what I mean? He's a young dude, man. Like, he still got, you know, some life ahead of him. You know what I mean? So to him to be 22 on a very popular show globally, you know what I mean? Like it's a little bit much.
Overwhelming.
So, you know, and then he came in with a disadvantage. He came in late. Motherfuckers
with Victoria. You know, so they think these two are like some secret couple from Jupiter, you know, and Victoria, she's a total tank. She got Erica shook. You feel what I'm saying? Shook.
Veronica. Yeah, no, I get
it. Veronica, my fault. I'm sorry, Veronica.
Yeah, that's all good. But no, I get it, man. Like it's wild, bro. It's wild, man. But like when I saw Marin come through, I told him, like, bro, I will never vote for you. I'm not gonna you don't have to worry about me. We're good. We're good. You know what I mean? Just off the strength, and he knew what it was, and we never had any problem. You know what I mean? But like people, I remember coming in, and Derek was like, "Oh, you must be happy that Marin's here."
I didn't like that. I think that was Jesse who said that, by the way.
They all said it.
Oh, they all. Oh, wow. They all
if they
said
didn't
it.
all say it, I know they damn well fought it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, oh, we can't let these two brothers get together or this and that. We got to get rid of Andrew here. And that's where, you know, you hear them talking about the 4-week plan. You know what I mean?
You could argue Marin was guilty by association just for being a brother after you won Heaven or Hell.
Oh yeah. He was
like, if you never win Heaven or Hell, I guarantee Marin is not judged immediately the way he was. But it's almost, and see, I'd argue the same thing can be said for Bailey. It feels like if a black person, heaven forbid, one black person in 5 seasons gets a twist, you know, it's that rare. But the minute we finally get a damn twist, it makes us the biggest threat beyond belief. It is incredible. We could be alone in the game, no one else. People, a black person could be begging y'all, weaponize me, keep me around. I can't beat you at the end. Like, my whole perspective on this was, there's no way Swaggy beats you at the end, Tyler. But Swaggy guarantees y'all completely mop everyone. You, Faisal, and Tyler would have. Well, Swaggy, Faisal, and Tyler would have mopped everyone.
Yeah. But then, you know, he was
scared of that smoke because he knew Faisal and Swaggy would take each other over him.
Exactly.
So then he would have been like, "Hey man, can we include Brett?" You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, can we include Scotty? And before you know it, it's a 6-person alliance. It's level 6 over here.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
saying? It's a crazy dynamic. It's a crazy energy. You're absolutely right. It is definitely a reflection of society values and views. So in terms of like how people react to you, if they're not used to certain energy, if they're not used to certain people, if they ain't got no black friends, they ain't going about to start having black friends on Big Brother, bro. So you could check the, you know, who was hanging out with who prior, and you'd be like, all right, I get it. You know what I mean?
So here's my question to you then. If you were in Scotty's shoes this week, let's say an ally like Ryan puts you on the block, but you don't have the ankle weights of the twist, the Heaven or Hell twist, to completely bury you. What do you do differently from what Scotty did this week to possibly keep yourself off the block before noms? And after you are nominated, what do you say to Faisal to make him want to fight in the veto to take you off?
Well, you know what? You know, like I think Faisal was always against him, though. Well, I know that's not true. Faisal, once Swaggy was gone, Faisal was done with Scotty. And I think there was nothing at that point he could have done. But I feel like he did freak out a little too quickly with the whole interactions he had this week with, you know, the veto speech. Veto speech was really messy.
That was cringe, man, because production made it seem like, hey guys, we got this special veto ceremony that we've hid until Thursday for you. We watch it, we like, what is this shit? We just got Scotty going, put up Sam. You know, I listened to Sam 3 days ago. Put up Sam. You know, it's like Men in Black. I'll put my hands on my head. You know what I'm saying? But no.
He was done, man. Like, I don't think there's nothing. He definitely should have tried to be a bit more smooth with it. But he's a virgin. You know what do virgins know?
Well, hold on. You said he wasn't a virgin, though. We can't be giving him that. Hold up.
Listen, I don't know too many versions with J's, bro. He had on some J's. I'm like, I don't know, like, you know, where I come from. You got some J's on. You got a good chance. You know,
I don't know that many versions rocking armbands like they Ben Wallace on the Detroit Pistons.
What was up with his hair, bro? He had the alfalfa spike going on there too. Like,
I don't know. Maybe that was the He Hey Women's Club haircut. I don't know.
That was definitely a virgin style. He ain't getting no pussy with that type of hairstyle, bro. So maybe he is a virgin. I don't know, Scott.
I don't believe it. We don't believe you. You need more people. We don't believe you, bro.
And then even I know, I think it was when he announced it to, I think it was Angela or Rachel, and she tried to chase him and he ran off. I'm like,
yeah. That was when I started to believe it. That's when I started to believe it.
Got a little nervous, eh?
I was like, damn. Yeah. That's how it was when you were scared of cooties. You know, you ran. All right, let's talk shit though, Scotty, man. My bad, Scotty Hive.
There's a high possibility I will run into these people on you know what I mean? And then I seen that podcast with you and the light skinned brother talking. So what's
up with Recency Bias Radio? Is he on a problem with me or something? Like, no, bro. We cool, coach. We talking strategy. But no. So if you were in Scotty's position this week, you think you were pretty much dead to rights because of Faisal?
Yeah, I think Faisal fucked up with the noms, bro. Like
Yeah.
he was, I don't know what he was thinking. You know what I mean? But like sometimes like when you're in the house and you get information coming from this way and that way, it kind of clouds your vision. You don't even know what's the right. You know what I mean? So uh, he could have taken a stronger stance, but I think what he was thinking of that was like, hey, Tyler's a comp beast. I've won a few comps myself. I like my girl. I'm gonna try to keep my girl safe. He's got his side piece there with Angela. Let's hold on to her. You know what I mean? So what can I say, man? He Casey putting Casey up as a replacement knob, weak, bro. You know,
Yeah.
if he put Sam up against me, you know what I mean. But like,
I still don't think. Well, I think Sam could possibly go crazy. That's what they were worried about. So that was
I'm
why they didn't want Sam up.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Sam to self evict. I'm thinking the Sam self eviction is coming in the next 2 weeks. Mark my words, bro. The way she's acting, the way she's even moving, and her emotional and mental state is pretty rough. You're in that house, you miss your family, miss your friends. People are kind of talking shit, saying one thing to one person, another to the other, and she seems like she's a straight shooter. She seems like she's a pretty honest and real person. And that house ain't for the real, fam. That house is for
It
the
ain't.
fake. The
It
house
ain't
is for
though.
the fake. You know what I mean? And to try to be a straight shooter and an honest and real person, you're gonna end up like me, bro. You ain't, you know what I mean? Or you're gonna end up like Sam, which is going crazy. And I really truly feel, had I stayed longer in that house, I would have showed my black ass so fast, bro. They might have to call security for me. I might have to drape some. You know what I mean? Who knows? But like, it's totally a different energy and feel when you're in that house, and like every emotion is heightened. Every conversation, you know what I mean? It's crazy, man. So I get what Sam is going through. I know she definitely misses her trailer, her mama's cooking or whatever, but and even you see her chain smoking, man.
Yeah.
You ain't
I
got
mean,
nothing but
she's chain smoking while she's trying to get Faisal to throw up Haley and saying to him, "I'll quit smoking
yeah,
if you throw up Haley." Like, how you gonna smoke a cig while telling me
yeah,
you'll quit
yeah.
smoking a cig? Like, what is going on, Coach?
Shout
Like,
out to
huh?
shout out to Faisal's face too. He's like, bro, this you see this chick?
That was
She
the get out look.
yeah,
He knew
yeah,
he had to get the hell out that jam. You feel me? And they was running a full court press because Scotty was
yeah.
waiting in the kitchen, like, huh, you ready
Yeah,
for this? Going on
I'm gonna get him after. Yeah, definitely a tag team match on that one. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, dang. So I gotta ask you this: do you think if another black super fan was in Faisal's position, do you think we would have an entirely different game right here? Or do you think level 6 would still be in control?
I don't like level 6 at all. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
either, bro.
And I've had a couple conversations with people that are level 6 fans. I'm like, yo, why do you like them? Like, what is it about them that you enjoy? Because they ain't really saying much. They ain't really doing much. They just happen to have the numbers. But people love Brett. Brett is very funny
Mm.
guy, very funny
And I
guy.
gotta ask you about Brett's game. What you think about him? Yeah.
I think I like it. It's entertaining as hell, man. It's very entertaining.
Yeah, I like it.
You can't hate on entertainment value, man. Like I love it, man. Like what he did to Rockstar and had her go crazy,
Yeah.
amazing. And then even the shade he threw at Scotty, and Scotty just took it like a sucker too.
That's
If
exactly.
someone
Thank
is
you. It
telling
takes a
you
black guy on here with me to
if
agree, bro.
if someone says
Thank
they,
you.
I'm like, what is you talking about, bro? I would have lost my shit. But he's a punk.
Right.
He punked out because he
He
knew
just kept sipping that grape soda. Like, I wanted him
he
to turn up, man.
he ain't about that life, fam. He ain't about that life. He ain't. Listen, if someone calls you a liar, your immediate reaction is, hey, I ain't a liar. If someone calls me a punk, I ain't no punk. So like, man up,
Right.
bro. You know what? He's a virgin. Just for that reason alone, he's a virgin, bro. I
But see,
believe
that's
in
my
that.
problem, though. It seems like every time Scotty makes a mistake, though, the super fan, because we're over analytic, we
Yeah.
like to give him a pass because he's a virgin.
No, I
You
get
know,
it. I
and
get it.
it's like, man, hey, listen, man. I'm pretty sure Ian Terry wasn't some crazy just slamming it at his
Yeah.
college. I'm
No,
pretty sure he wasn't some like, savage where he was coming from.
he was getting it. Listen, man. I know all these guys move. They play one way on TV in real life. They're not move. They're moving very different. But
Okay, but yeah, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't on some like I'm trying to think of the Dr. Will side of it, right? His his level of finesse and flirtation, right?
Yeah.
So, but he still won the game. So I'm not gonna give Scotty an excuse as, oh, he doesn't have expertise with the ladies like that. When the closest person to him by his choice was a woman. So I'm not, no. And then he started following Tyler and Brett around, and that's really was spelled the end of his game. He started telling them information, which they then flipped and used against him emotionally. And I just want his fans to be honest.
Tyler, ramen noodle. What do you call Tyler again?
Oh, lifeguard Jesus.
Lifeguard.
You was finna call him ramen noodle? What was that, coach?
Ramen noodle. He got the noodles, bro. He got the cup of soup. He got the cup of soup, bro. You know he got that. But,
he called him cup noodle.
You know what I mean? But
Maru-chan. Got that man looking ugly out here, boy. He called you food for less.
But he is truly a super fan in disguise, like being able to kind of hide his fandom. I think that is also something that he's definitely not getting his props for as well. Like he's being able to recognize and still kind of hold his cards very close to his chest. So salute to Tyler for being able to kind of hide his fandom, because that's something as super fans that, it's hard to do. Like even his reaction to like when Jesse came into the house, or like even playing in the OTEV comp. Like these are things that we as super fans love. So for him to kind of
and Rockstar jagged that OTEV. Oh my god.
Oh, I felt
she jagged that OTEV.
I felt so bad for Rockstar, because now that she's out of the game, these are the things that people will forever remember and ask her about, and it will haunt you forever. Like
still won't let Lawan live it down. I still won't let him live it down.
That's how the game.
Terrible gameplay.
Like I always like I can't wait to meet. I don't know. I want to meet Shima, because I think she's also one of those characters that like will never live down like being able to like throwing her mic. You know what I mean? Or like it's just like these are moments in the fandom that are frozen forever, that you're not like she had a chance to beat beat Tyler. You know what I mean? But she, like it's how the game goes, man.
Do you think we get Ica in Big Brother Canada without Shima in Big Brother US?
Ica is a queen on her own.
I feel you on that.
Ica is a queen on her own.
I'm just speaking from like the casting process.
No, you know what? Having been a part of the casting process and understanding what they do, and they've said this to me, not my first time applying and getting unsuccessful, but it really is a puzzle. So they're putting together people that they think will fit the best in a puzzle. And I even look back at Ica's Big Brother 5. She was there with Dre. They put two strong black females in the house together. And they had Gary.
Which is rare.
You know what I mean? And they had Gary. So they had literally like, 3 black people, which is something you wouldn't even see in America. You know what I mean? But no, it's really a puzzle with casting. Casting does, I feel, the best job they can in terms of bringing new energy. I knew myself, I was coming into the house to fill a spot that I think they've never had, which was an older, fashionable, outspoken male. Shout out to my G Godfrey. Godfrey's a very cool guy. But a little younger, a little different, you know what I mean? And shout out to Gary, shout out to Paul. I know they just want different. You know what I mean?
Mastermind Manguiza.
You know what I mean? The sleeping giant. You know what I mean?
He's a savage. See, man, if we could get a Godfrey in Big Brother US, if we could get one to play a similar game like that. But see, that's the thing. I wonder, will the Godfrey game ever be rewarded to a black player at the end?
No, because they called him lazy, bro. They said he was sleeping all the time. They said he was disinterested. They said he was, they said bro, they know they're going to talk shit either way, bro. And that's the thing, like, regardless of how you portray yourself, once you step into that studio, once them lights come on, you meet Arissa or you meet Julie, they're going to, like, kill you, bro. And it's funny because even my brother...
lazy or not, Godfrey was responsible, or at least co-responsible, for one of the biggest moves in the history of Big Brother Canada. Sure. I'd argue that move falls in complete parallel with Ryan sending you home on his HOH and Faisal sending Scotty home on his HOH. Getting Zach to backdoor his best friend Jordan Parhar. Magnificent gameplay. Yeah. And then at the end, you reward someone who benefited from their best friend having damn near every twist of the season. I mean, it's like, come on, coach. Like,
Shout
we
out to
shouldn't reward the sidekick.
shout out to Sarah though. Sarah's my girl.
Yeah, shout out to Sarah. She got that loud pack on deck. I ain't gonna disrespect.
Shout out to Sarah. Sarah's my girl, yo.
Hey, Queen Arissa Cox, please bring back the sideshow, please. There's people in U.S. that love that show. Now, you might not be able to have Peter Brown on it, but please bring it back.
Let me get on that. Let me host that, bro. If I hosted the sideshow,
definitely,
you know.
Oh yeah, it would be turned. Let him and Hamza host that thing. It'll be lit.
Cool. Hamza is not as cool in real life. I will say that.
Oh, he putting down his homie.
Hamza's cool. Hamza the cool guy. And in real life, he's a lame. Tell him I said
Hamza's the man, yo. I fucks with Hamza, man.
Shout out to Hamza. That's my guy, though. And congratulations to him and Carolyn.
Congratulations.
They're expecting a young Princess Zara, coming December 29th. So shout out to my guy. You know I'm sending you some baby Jordans. You know that, fam. You already know.
20 years or so, we'll see her on Big Brother Canada. It will not be canceled, damn it. We're speaking it into existence.
No, man, like, you know, I feel like the fandom is popping, bro. And, you know, they've really kind of made it more of an online show. I knew a lot of people that didn't watch episodes, but like they caught it on their phone or they caught it on their tablet, you know what I mean, or caught up certain ways. So I feel like that's where the platform is shifting. And of course, you know, in Big Brother 20, you see like the online twist, the interactive, the hacker twist, or like the technology tidbits being, you know what I mean. So it's I feel like the game is the future of the game is definitely more interactive. It's definitely more viewer friendly. So you know, I definitely think that this is just like you know, Survivor, you know, the real world. These are staples that are definitely not going anywhere.
No doubt, man. No doubt. So I want to ask you a question. Did you catch last Thursday when Julie went out of her way to tell Rockstar that Brett is doing bad at jury management because of his goodbye message? Well, now, here's my thing. Well, go ahead.
Julie also spilled the beans to Bailey. Julie's talking a lot, eh?
I think it's because of that scandal, that cloud above her. And I ain't talking about Tyler and lifeguard Jesus.
No, I know. I don't want to say too much. Production.
Yeah, it's just that cloud. I'll leave it alone. It's that cloud.
Shout out to Julie. Get it how you live, girl. Do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Stand by your man or what? Hey, no comment. But
I'm saying,
you know, at the end of the day, like I think that whoever comes back into this twist is definitely coming back at his advantage. I don't know if they've kept them all isolated, because we haven't seen any interaction of them in the jury house. So I'm sure they're probably sequestered by themselves. You know what I mean? Getting, you know, treated wonderfully, not being told anything. But no, we'll see what happens. Like I'm curious to see who comes back or who goes next week. You know, it's fun.
So if Sam self-evicts, does that mean the battle back will only have 3 people?
Interesting. Sam has been on the brink of destruction for like a couple weeks now, eh? Like, yeah. She's just over it. And I get it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like,
and when they fucked up that house after that veto comp,
she was like, she looked like she was are they giving her the crazy person edit on purpose?
They're finally doing it. Yeah, they're finally doing it. Give me your pancake. Give me your pancake. I'll be like, damn, bro, this is sexual harassment, coach.
Playing, bro.
Imagine if Faisal kept walking up to Haley or Troy. Give me your pinky.
Yeah. Remember when they showed me like me trying to press Derek, like, let's shake on it as men. They made me look crazy too, bro.
Yeah.
That's how I was feeling. Like, oh, bro, like
they even tried to make you crazy when you was talking to Johnny by that pool table. You know, but really,
bro. Let me say this. Never been a punk, never been a sucker, never been a fake, nothing real, nothing fake about me, period, bro. So when I see stuff moving a certain way, it's just how I am, bro. I have to address it, man. I was raised different, man, and I know not everyone has integrity, not everyone has testicular fortitude, if you will. But listen, man. Even if I wasn't a big dude, if I was a small guy, I'd still be moving the same way. So if I got a problem, someone says something I don't like, best believe I'm gonna say it. No one can call me a liar without right. And that's why I don't get how Scotty could let Brett just kind of stiff arm him and punk him like that and not say anything. I'm like, how, like, who raised you like this? You know what I mean? Who
Crazy. Shout out
raised
to
you like
TK Kirkland. But yeah, like 100%. Because see, and this is another reason why I wanted to ask you, because I'm trying to go to each person in the game and ask you about them. Because Angela, now I gotta really ask you about it. I'm sure the chat room wants me to ask you about her game, because my problem is Julie is out here selectively telling Rockstar that Brett is bad at his goodbye messages, and yet Angela has admitted on feeds that production has told her to revise her goodbye messages so she doesn't ruin her own jury management. So that clearly shows a conflict of interest there by Julie alone and production. And since Julie is basically running production, I can only jump to the conclusion that they don't want Brett being there because they know he's the biggest threat to Tyler's game. So what better way to jump in front of Brett, possibly yoking Tyler at the end with his great speech, than to convince the people who would definitely vote for him, because Brett has been the same person from Jump Street, that he's bad at jury management. But see, earlier today, you know, when Scotty's gone, Julie, the first thing come out of her mouth is, I can't tell you anything because you're part of the jury. See, part of me wonders, did you only not tell him something now because you knew a battle back was next week, Julie? Because you sure as hell told Rockstar enough information last week that she shouldn't have known, knowing she was on jury. So what's your thoughts on that?
Angela, I feel, is definitely shooting herself in the foot with how she's addressing people. You know, you got to move a little different. But, like, you know, some people are shady, boo. Some people are mad petty, bro. Like, I get it, man. Like, sometimes you want to you want to curb stomp a mother sucker, you know, when they're down. But at the end of the day, like, jury management is important. We all know jury management is important. Those goodbye messages are something that people overlook always. You know, you gotta clean it up. JC's goodbye message this week to Scotty, really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that's something, once people collect notes, I don't think Scotty gives him a vote for that. Like someone was saying on Twitter, that sounds like a Paul goodbye message. Sounds like you act like you had nothing to do with nothing. And then as soon as the speech comes, they have a question saying, did you know when I was going home that did you know about it? Then you say, no, I didn't. Then everyone looks at you like he's lying, and then you don't get his vote. So I just don't. I think that's the recruit part of JC coming out with that goodbye message there. You know, and I think that's once again production trying to sabotage another person who could threaten Tyler.
You guys really feel like production is like has their hands in everything, eh?
I think when it comes to Tyler, they're willing to do anything to at least secure him making the end. I think that's what their motivation is for a lot of their decision making. Because my thing is, they never show Tyler in a bad light in the edit. Never. Like every opportunity they've had so far, they just graze over it for a split second. You know, They use his dad as the reasoning for why he had to win this veto, you know, but in reality, his dad's birthday was a few weeks ago. Then they said it was like the anniversary of his dad or something like that. So I'm like, okay, all right, I ain't gonna trip on that. But my point is, he could have said this is for my dad a long time ago, but the fact that he said it then lets me know there was a loudspeaker say, hey, Tyler, we need you to say this so we can put it in your family visit. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the super fan in me, I'm just reading between the lines because that's all I can do because I know the game too much on a surface level. But I will say, though, we do take it a little too far sometimes, but I think with Tyler, we're a little spot on, especially with that real Vegas for sure thing going on.
Shout out to all the real live feeders, though. Real talk, like everyone that is so dedicated and watches the real live feeds, that watch the interviews, that participate in the discussion about the show. Shout out to the real fans, man, because, you know, the real fans know what's up. And regardless of how they edit it or how they chop the show, the real fans who watch and observe or share notes or, you know, pull quotes on Twitter and tell people exactly what was said, it's amazing, man.
I just wish the super fans, I just wish they found a better way to reward us for our fan shit, our fanboyism, fangirlism. I wish they would give us like 3 times the amount of votes than the casual audience or something. Something that way, if you're paying this $5.99, you feel like you're getting something back for it.
Return on your investment.
Exactly, because the casual fan will always dictate the vote. And as long as you allow the fan that doesn't know what's going on to dictate how the game goes, you're almost putting your own assets in harm's way.
I hear you saying. It definitely does skew people's perspective. But maybe it's our job as the super fans to try to engage those that aren't, to take it to their fandom to the next level, right? So maybe,
but isn't that kind of like the woke trying to awaken the unawakened? Like sometimes you got people who don't want to be woke.
No, I
You
hey
know,
man, listen, I
I
hear that.
try
I
to
hear that
speak to
too.
certain people, but they think they got the answers. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, no. Like, I legit have all the proof right here. I don't want to read that. And it's like, okay,
Yeah,
brother,
yeah. No, it's and even my perspective, like I'm a large brother. So when people that run up to me on the street and say, "Hey," you know what I mean? Anyone that has the balls to run up to me on the street, I'm like, "Yo, I'll take whatever time they need to chat them up." You know what I mean? So I feel like there's definitely a contrast between like the people that watch the feeds and of course the casual fans. But I'm not disrespecting the casual fans because not everyone has times to watch the feeds. And not everyone has time to get the full story and just take whatever production is feeding them. But that's at the end of the day, they're trying to create a narrative for the show. The job is to create characters, create a storyline, and make the show enjoyable for everyone to watch. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
uh, not everyone is going to be a fan of the hype. Not, you know what I mean? So it's just like
Right.
trying to find the happy
That's
medium
the
between the
beauty
two.
of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what it is. Like you know what I mean? Like there's people for you to root for and people for you to jeer against. And at the end of the
Like
day, like
even if you have nothing to root for in the Super Bowl, at least you can root against Tom Brady. If you're just tired of
exactly,
seeing him win, you
exactly.
can find some home in that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tired of him and his sexy wife hanging out. This handsome guy. I hope he loses. You know what I mean? So I get it, man. And like, I know what I represented for a lot of people for where I'm from. And to get the love that I get on the block or on the street or at the shawarma stop or I'm at the Caravana Festival and like people show so much love and it's amazing, man. Because I know that I represent or what I, the character or whoever Andrew Miller you think you are, like what I represented to these people was much more than just like a regular person. You know what I mean? So I'm happy that I was able to be relatable. I was happy that I represented, and I think everyone represented something. You know what I mean? Either Hamza representing all the hummus fans out there, or if you're Erica
Team
represent
hummus.
shout out to Team Hummus. Or if you're Erica representing, the LGBTQ, it's just everyone represented something, and I felt like there's diversity is something that it should be encouraged and of course celebrated. So we all, represent something. And if you root for us or don't, regardless, there's a story to be told.
No doubt. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into asking you questions. We'll start answering some questions from you all very shortly. So, get them
Okay.
ready in the live chat, ladies and gentlemen. It's
Okay.
finna get
Okay.
popping. But I do have one question I do want to ask Andrew, which might be one of the questions that wound up in the chat. I'm not sure. I promise I'm not stealing from any of y'all in the chat. Shout outs to the Mighty Buds, by the way.
Shout out to all the people in the chat. Shout out to Ghost Hunter. Who else in here?
It's
What I
shout
mean?
out season. Cuff
I
your
can name.
chick.
You know what I mean? Shout out to all the man them out there. Selena, one of my good friends.
Selena for life.
Shout out. Real recognized real, dear. You know what it is. All love.
It's cracking. So my question to you, Drew, is essentially, if okay, because we don't know what's happening on feed yet. Try to update us, ladies and gentlemen, on how these
Who won? Who
this
won?
HOH comp is going. By the way, I'm not sure who won just yet. But my question to you right now, they're saying Angela and KC or some shit. I don't know. But my question to you right now is, let's say Haley wins this next HOH. Who does she have to nominate initially to get the best out of this week, in your opinion?
Well, the people that she needs to nominate, she's probably not going to because she's a sucker, and she got them. They got them.
That
They got
fake
her.
Final Four.
They're playing her. So I think that might still resonate in the back of her mind. And maybe if I think that she knows that JC is kind of disloyal. So I think maybe JC might be some, but who knows? Because she was saying to Tyler today that he needs to go and fix that relationship with JC. Because even not JC, Fessy needs to fix a relationship with JC. But I think if Haley wins, Haley definitely should take a shot at her final
Lifeguard Jesus.
ramen
I'm
cup
trying
of
to say
noodle.
that to the point where it rolls off the
You
tongue,
know what I
coach.
mean? Ramen Jesus. What are we calling him? Ramen Jesus.
Ramen Jesus. Hey, we can hashtag that shit, coach. Hashtag that in the chat. Ramen Jesus.
Ramen Jesus. But no, I want. You know what I really want to see? I want to see Tyler win and then have him expose who he's really rocking with. And I know it's going to be level
Oh,
6.
yeah.
I know it's going to be level 6, but I want to see Fessy go bananas. You know what I mean? I want to see him like really, like who flipped is what he's, who flipped, who, you know what I mean? He plays like oh my God, I can't believe they flipped. But bro, like, Man up. Like, let's see it. You know what I mean?
But see, that's my problem with Tyler's alliance, though. It's like they're perfectly fine with not allowing him to get any more blood on his hands. It's so stupid. You know, they're so convinced that they're playing this magnificent team game, which they are. I can't knock the team aspect. But individually, what are they doing to set themselves up to beat him? Nothing. Like, every single plan they have down the road involves Faisal and Haley leaving back to back. But if I'm in Casey and Angela's position, I want Faisal to stay because we both can beat Faisal.
Well, you know the double eviction is coming. And that's something that I'm sure they're going to be talking about or hinting towards in the weeks to come. I think at the core, I think Tyler is definitely going to get blindsided. You know, that's probably the only way they could probably get rid of him is to, you know, get him while he's sleeping, backdoor him somehow.
How do you get him while he's sleeping? It's like impossible. It's got to be a double eviction. It's got to be one of those situations where you got him so convinced you're working with him that he never runs upstairs. You feel me? But see, that's the thing. In a double, I've been saying this from the get-go. How does Tyler sneak upstairs to use his twist and no one notices it during a double? It's impossible. He's not HOH. How does he go up there and no one goes, oh, he's clearly using a twist? Like, and see, that's the thing. If they see him run up there, I wouldn't even nominate him. Now he burns it. But if it's not documented as him using it, then I know production's rigging shit. So that would be my way as just a smart game player to figure out if this is rigged against me or not by calling Tyler's bluff, by not backdooring him after seeing him run upstairs. That's really the only way to bluff things in your favor. Because until then, it's going to always be, it's always going to feel like Tyler is surrounded by 300 men. Like, that's why I call him Lifeguard Xerxes. He's got too many Persians around him. Okay? You can't get to him, bro. You can't get to him. He got all these people in the way.
And Sam is super loyal too, eh? For her to keep that secret and not leak it to anybody yet.
Yeah, and she's in love with Brett. Now, Brett already knows about the power too, so I guess if she leaked it to him, it wouldn't really do much because he already knows. But, you know, for Sam, I'm thinking like, damn, Sam, you at least had, if you really wanted to protect Scotty, Sam, you could at least throw that out there, that idea that Tyler has the power to Faisal. Let Faisal contemplate backdooring Tyler. Then all of a sudden, the entire game changes because Scotty is no longer the biggest threat to everyone. And then you could pin it on Tyler the same way they pinned it on Bailey. But see, this is my problem with the double standard when it comes to race and social politics in the game. If a white player has a power that is overpowered, they almost get privileged with the ability to keep the secret, and everyone doesn't blame them for keeping said secret. Black player does. How dare you keep the secret and lie? Wait, isn't this the game we're playing? It's like these same people clown Faisal for not knowing the game he's playing, but then they villainize every black player that knows the game they're playing and lies. It's like, hold up, coach. You can't have it both ways. And when you try to do the same thing to Lifeguard Xerxes and his minions, then they get defensive. So it's not a two-way street. I just want the same energy. You know me. I just want the same energy.
Bailey was wrong, though. She definitely should have kept her mouth shut.
Facts.
Instead of snitching on what, you know, on telling who, you know, like, I don't know. Where I'm from, bro, we don't snitch where I'm from. We keep our mouth
especially
shut.
On yourself.
No, exactly. Like
if it's on someone else to keep yourself in the game, I can't knock that. But when you're snitching on yourself just to make a pawn feel more secure, fuck a pawn. What I look like? Are you serious? I'm gonna make a pawn feel more secure with being a pawn, coach. You crazy or something?
No, wild, bro. Wild stuff. But you know what? Like, in Big Brother, you gotta trust people, man. You gotta have a few allies. You gotta have a few people that really got your back, that have your best interest. And I guess at that point in time, she lost her man. You know what I mean? She felt a little defeated. Maybe she just wanted to have a little girl time, little girl talk, a little bonding moment, and then loose lips sank her ship. You know what I mean? So,
definitely, man.
And then like,
you think she plays again one day? By the way,
I hope she battle backs and wins. I know she's got a competitive energy.
Yeah, I think that'll be her chance to play again. Probably. I think Swaggy's probably more of a lock-in.
I'd be so happy, man, if she could get back in somehow. But who knows, right? Who knows?
Hey, imagine how salty Scotty's fans will be if Bailey beats him head to head. Do you know how salty they would be? Because they've been trying to tell us Scotty was robbed. Okay, if he loses head to head to Bailey in a battle back, he wasn't robbed for shit, coach.
Man, nobody is robbed in Big Brother because nothing in Big Brother is fair.
Yes.
So like, Rob Queen, Rob King, yes, King, yes. What? Nah, bro. When you're gone, you're gone. When your time's up, it's over, bro. So like, there's no one ever gets what they deserve. Who has ever gotten what they deserve? Paul? Paul has been to the finals twice.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And
I'm
he
not.
lost to a
And
buffoon once.
he lost. Well, disrespect.
Hey, I'll speak it for both of us. See, I'm gonna be honest with you, because I wanted to ask you about this too. You know, how do you feel about the fake shit that happens when people get out there? Because I'm seeing a lot of people that vigorously rooted against Swaggy's best interest when he was in the game. He gets out of the game, then they act like they've been best buds with him. And my thing is, there's no clout for you to chase. You're a former winner. Yeah. So what is your angle here?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I think it's a legit threat people feel when that new hotness is around. They feel a little irrelevant. The only way to get back relevant is to act cool with who's hot.
Exactly.
It's just like the rap game. You might not even rock with this new guy. You might think he on some moist stuff. But at the end of the day, Lil Uzi Vert got what's popping on the radio right now. So you got to take this photo. You see what I'm saying?
I agree. You don't want to listen, man. There's a lot of clout chasing in this and there's a lot of fake stuff in this real world. You know what I mean? And I really truly feel that real dudes don't really get the real love that they truly deserve because we're not fake. And we're not doing it for the likes. We're not doing it for the follows. We're just doing it to be ourselves. And like I said, I live a blessed life. I ain't gotta kiss nobody's ass. People just recognize.
Bro, I would love to see everybody come together for the finale, man. I'm talking Canada, US, just like a huge, just in a backyard. And then, like, because you know how, like certain boxing matches, like they set up the next boxing fight by bringing the challenger. What if they did that one year, like Survivor did with Second Chances? You had like everyone in the backyard, and all of a sudden, Julie was like, "I have an announcement." Everyone just turns around like, "I was here for an interview." All of you will be participating in a new Big Brother season starting now, and like that would be so cold. Like, man. Can y'all please put me on the idea department at CBS? Because I can help y'all make some money, coach. You feel it, dig me? But no, though. But yeah, man, I would love to show up to one of those finales, though. Because I got a feeling this finale specifically, it's going to be some smoke at this one. People will be professional, but it's going to be a little bit of smoke.
I definitely think that Faisal, when he hears what JC is talking about, he's going to have to shoot him a fair one, bro. We're going to have the 5 minutes. Yeah. 5 minutes outside having a real
one arm behind his back on his knee. That's a fair one. That's a fair one.
I saw someone on Twitter refer to JC as a muscular calf muscle, and I was like, that was pretty hilarious, pretty funny.
Man, that's crazy.
But like, you can't be talking crazy, bro, and then make sure you keep that same energy when we see each other. You know what I mean?
And I just don't get why JC is doing it. Faisal has showed you nothing but respect. Like I don't see. Like my thing is. It's so easy for someone in JC's position to have been ostracized. Hell, I thought he wasn't going to make jury because I thought they were going to look for an excuse to target him. Yeah. So he has all of these people that are willing to protect him. Faisal genuinely likes the guy, and he just clowns him at every turn. Now, I get it. You're clowning him because he doesn't get the game. Yeah. But JC, if you weren't following Tyler, I'd argue you'd be out of the loop too. Yeah. Yeah. You feel me? So I just don't get it, because at some point you're gonna need Faisal to go after Tyler because you ain't gonna have the heart to do it.
You don't have to. Like people aren't seeing the long-term game, man. Like they're really doing some extra shit for no reason. Like he ain't gotta go so hard at like dogging a guy, an ally of yours. You know what I mean? But this is Big Brother, man. This is what people want. This is what they want to see. Can I also say something quickly about JC and Bailey and their conversation about the N-word and the
yes, definitely. I forgot to mention this. Go ahead, brother.
I will say this. There is no comparison between the two. I think that
facts.
The N-word has a lot more history, a lot more overtone. You know what I mean? But I will say this. Equality is like if he felt a type of way, like we gotta respect each other's wishes. You know what I mean? But just from my perspective, there is no comparison between the two. But with that being said, if she felt offended or he felt offended, if someone came to me and said, "Hey, you offended me," I guess it's the Canadian me where I say, "You know what? My apologies. My mistake. Let's keep it moving." You know what I mean? But I definitely felt like that edit was very interesting in terms of them trying to make the two equal. And there's definitely a lot more history behind the N-word versus the M-word. But
And it was very insensitive for them to even let that show on TV. If you're not going to show the ghetto skin complexion, if
yeah,
you're not going to show
woo,
that, don't show this.
woo, come on
And I
now.
got to hear your thoughts on that, bro. I got to hear it.
People talk a lot of shit in the house, man. And I think sometimes people truly forget that the cameras are rolling. There was one time Hamza and I were on the couch and we were just like talking shit, and I did call Kayla a bitch. And then Canada, Big Brother comes on the loudspeaker, says, "Andrew, remember Canada's watching." And at that moment, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I gotta chill out, because the same way I would talk to the man them, I can't speak that way on a national platform like that. So sometimes you forget you're in the house. Sometimes you just say whatever. But like for Caitlyn to rap her N word and that to kind of be under the radar, and then the ghetto, you know what I mean, like the ghetto skin complexion or the tanning darkness, man, like
And let's be clear, someone of Caucasoid descent saying they are allowed to say the N-word because it's in a rap song is the exact same excuse as, well, black people say it, why can't we? It's the exact same excuse.
I also want to say this too. I hate being the spokesperson for black people all across reality television.
I feel what you're coming from. It does get taxing on you.
It's a burden that I didn't know I was signing up for. And at the end of the day, like I know I'm a large black person. I'm very aware of that every day. I scare white people constantly. I know this. But at the end of the day, like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know I was signing up to be the voice of black people. But with that being said, I understand that I can only represent myself. I can only represent my family and the people that I grew up with. And with that being said, my views are my views only. Don't have well, Andrew said this, so now I can say the N word. I would never tell white people to say the N word. I would even say the H word or the C word. I've never moved like that, bro. So when I hear people moving like that, I'm like, who raised you like this? You know what I mean?
TK.
Like, it's just wild to me that people would just, I don't know.
Okay, so I got one more question before we can segue into questions, because we low-key been killing it tonight. My final question is basically on the same subject, because that's the reason why I want to interject real fast. So what is your take on someone like Angela repeatedly telling Bailey, I want you to be the first black woman to win this game?
Unnecessary.
Yes.
It's unnecessary. It goes without saying. My blackness goes without saying. I don't need a white person telling me like, yeah, you're gonna be the first. I don't need you to gas me up, fam. I don't need you to tell me what I am and what I represent. I think that is, condescending. I think it's also shows privilege.
Yes.
But at the same time, like, people just gotta, you gotta choose your words, man. I don't know, motherfuckers don't know you coming on national TV and the camera's rolling all the time and just be saying wild shit to people or on some fake shit. But hey, man,
here's my conspiracy theory for you.
Okay,
I got to give you one conspiracy theory.
You think production has told her to tell me?
You're onto it. You're onto it a bit. Do you think there is a chance? Because we all know, it's pretty much public knowledge at this point, that we all know that Angela and Rachel were both tipped off by production that there was a scandal at play involving the ghetto skin complexion, because Rachel and Angela both came out of the diary room crying that day. So my thing is, if Angela maybe could have suspected that it made the edit, what better way for her to possibly offset that negativity than for her to say, I want you to be the first black woman to win, because the ghetto skin complexion line was about Bailey as well. What's your thought about that?
Hey, man, shout out to production checking these motherfuckers in the DR.
Yes, it's important.
Day, like as much as some people criticize what production feeding people lines or saying, changing the narrative of the show, at least I'm sure they took it amongst themselves to check people's ignorance, to check people's racial, inequalities behind closed doors. And whatever was said there and whatever reaction they had to that, you know what? Fuck it, man. Let people know when they fuck up, like.
But don't you think they owe it to Bailey as well to let her know what she's also involved in?
Yeah,
because that's tricky. It's tricky.
Yes and no. Bailey will get wind of this after. You know what I mean?
Okay, I see what you're saying. You don't want that to affect her game, for her to take it personally.
Yeah.
Then it escalates even further before we know what we have BB20.
Exactly. It's Candace and all over again. Shout out to Candace too. Beautiful, wonderful. Shout out to Candace. You know what I mean?
Wonderful.
But, I will say that when I got out the house, I checked YouTube. I just Googled my name. That's what you do when you get out the house. And there's a conversation that was happening that I was not aware of between Erica, Olivia, and Kayla. And during that conversation, Kayla called me toxic. And I'm like, what did I do that would require anyone calling me toxic? You know what I
Mm.
mean? And I think at that point, I had saved Erica, I had saved Olivia, and I guess Kayla might have just felt a type of way, you know what I mean? Or
Because she
maybe
wasn't saved.
that she wasn't saved, or maybe I had said I got mad at Erica for I felt betrayed and I had said something to her, but I never, bro, I'm not a toxic person. So for people to kind of have these crazy accusations or judgment, you know what I mean? But you also don't want like them to know that while you're there. So just like it's a mind fuck, bro. You really have to be and I know production has a very challenging job in terms of kind of balancing certain personalities, but you can't you really can't like I said, shout out to production for at least addressing that issue behind closed doors. Hopefully they'll be more aware of their words and how things kind of can ripple and get out of
Mhm.
hand, but like racism's alive, bro. Like, let's be honest here. Like, this is something happening behind closed doors in real life every day. So for it to be exposed on a television show is the reality of life.
So do you think because this is my final question essentially. This is about the heaven or hell twist. Do you think they went out of their way to make Swaggy choose two different groups to keep safe that walked in together because they felt like maybe in BB Canada they gave you too much power to pick 8 people that aren't safe? Or like because that's an interesting thing that they changed
Yeah,
about it.
I definitely see the parallels between the two, me and myself and Swaggy. Having them come out in groups, the groups were pre-selected. You know what I mean? It was the
Mm-hmm.
groups. You know what I mean? So there was definitely a bit of a, he saved the, was Faisal was in the group he saved as well originally, and Bailey was in the group he saved. No,
No,
who?
Bay was in the group with Tyler and Winston, I believe,
Okay, but
that
no,
he
it's
didn't save because he
yeah,
wanted to save them, but they
yeah,
had Angela in that group
yeah,
too,
yeah,
and he
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
trust her.
yeah, 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 yeah. No, it's a tough situation to be in, and even as when I was watching that, I was like, man, don't win this Swaggy. But like he's a type of alpha male
Competitor.
personality. He's a competitor. And you come in, you want to be, you want to make moves, bro. You want to play the game, and I think timing is everything. Being strategic is everything, and sometimes. When you're in that moment, you're like, yo, let me get this. Let me claim this. Let the man them see me. I'm out here. Let me have a moment of glory. You know what I mean? So,
And let's be
um,
real, up to that moment, he was talking hot shit. So he had to live up to his own
yeah,
hype. He
yeah,
couldn't lose to Angela because they
yeah,
would have clowned him harder.
yeah,
They would be
yeah,
like, oh, look at this guy. His
yeah,
name
yeah,
on his shirt. He
yeah,
can't even
yeah,
beat
yeah, yeah,
Angela.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
how they would have done us.
yeah.
So, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're finna get to questions. It's finna get popping. It has
Okay.
been great to have my brother Drew on deck.
We here,
You feel
man.
me?
Just trying to talk to the streets, trying to talk to the people.
Yes, sir. First, it sounds like Angela won HOH.
Oh, interesting, interesting, interesting. So she's
Uh,
definitely gonna put up Faisal and Haley back to back, right? Like
yeah,
side by
it
side,
sounds like
yeah.
Haley and Faisal are on the block together.
Yeah,
It
that's
sounds like the comp was a little weird. It sounds like it kept getting cut off and cut back on, cut off,
mm.
come back on. I don't know. It sounded like I ain't gonna say some rigging happened, but
Ah.
at the end of the day, it sounded like some iffy stuff. Why couldn't you show us the
Listen,
continuous loop, coach?
production does what it has to do. I hope that they have the viewers in mind and everyone's house guests. I don't know what
Yeah, you my guy. So I'm purposely not trying to get too crazy on this one. I want this one to be as as acceptable as possible. Okay, but yes, ladies and gentlemen, get your questions ready. I'm looking around. Um,
Oh, we see
okay,
it
I'm
pop
looking
up.
around at question. One dude said, that's not really a question. Okay, Ghost Hunter, I got you. What do you think is the core difference between BBUS and Canada in your eyes?
Hmm. That's a very good question. Ghost Rider, shout out to you for that question. I think the difference I would say is that the casting is a little different. Some say the casting in Canada is a lot more diverse in terms of the type of people that they cast. Like you see, I guess for them to have a Muslim American is something risque. You know what I mean? In Canada, we've Adele. that was season 2. They had Adele as
One of
a
my
Muslim,
favorite players.
you know, great guy. I haven't met him. I hope to meet him one day. But you know, to show that sort of diversity, to show him praying, you know what I mean? I feel like the type of
I'd
casting
argue Adele made one of the best jury managements I've ever seen. I'd argue he always made it a point of emphasis to become best friends with whoever went home. I think that's an ingenious game that if someone can make it to the end and play that way, they win easily every time. Yeah. But it's hard to do that and also close at the end. That's really the hard part.
No, it's interesting because I felt like even Paris, for example, Paris definitely being, you know, a Persian Canadian from the West Coast, you know what I mean, and you know, young, you know, future law or whatever she wants to do now. She won, so she do whatever she wants. But you know, I think the amount of diversity and even her style of game too, you know what I mean, similar in terms of sleeping giant style, you know, not a threat, just kind of flowing under the radar. So no, like I feel like, and who else? I'm just thinking, trying to even Gary Glitter, you know what I mean, very different personality. You know, a large black male.
Really got screwed in BB Can 5. Really got screwed.
Oh yeah, totally different game you saw from Gary that season.
But he had arguably the most iconic speech when he said, "Oh, honey, you won't figure out who everyone hates until the game's over." Yeah. That was probably one of the most iconic lines you will ever see. And the fact that he said that about Netta,
yeah. Shout out to Netta too. Netta is lovely, by the way.
Yes, a great player. I wasn't a huge fan of her in 5, and that's because she was given too much power, in my opinion. You know, I'm a fan of the underdog always.
Yeah. Listen, man, I'm a fan of the people that look like me first, and then
always.
And then after that, like I fall in love with the people that have the best story, people that represent, people that, you know what I mean. I'm not anti-white by supporting people that look like me, guys.
Exactly. Like people think if you're pro-black, you're anti something. No, you can be pro who you are and still love others.
But no, exactly. I love great. I guess, you know, I have a journalism background. I don't know how much I want to tell people about my personal life, but like I love great stories, and I always grew up listening and reading autobiographies. So I felt like people that had like a story of struggle, you know, a story of hardship, you know, people that started from the bottom, you know what I mean, and can kind of create their own path. Like those are the type of people that I relate to. So
they got a can't go back mentality.
Yeah, that's it. I'm here now. This is what my life is. So I like salute to those people, you know what I mean? So, but no, great.
Oh, and also Ghost Hunter also wanted to know if Bailey comes back in, do you think she will have her power app as well, or do you think it's gone because she's eliminated?
They don't take that from her. They don't want black people having too much stuff now.
Yeah, I think people would legit send a banner about that bitch if Bailey came back and had her back. This isn't fair. They would be mad as hell.
I think she technically should still have it because she left the game with it. So if she got back in it, I think she should have it. But you know, you never know how things go.
I don't think it will. That's too much like right. That's too much like right.
Too much, eh?
But we all know if something happened to Tyler, that cloud would still be admissible.
So when is Tyler's app expires when? This week, right?
No, when 7 people are left, and Bailey expires this week. When 8 people are left.
Yeah, so that's a wrap for that then.
Yeah, so she can't even use it when she comes back anyway. It's no point. So but then again, wait, hold up. I just thought about this. But if Bailey comes back, it's back to 9. So technically, wait, no. Actually, it's 8 again because once someone goes out, she comes in.
Her a pass or something to like ease her. She got to give her like a 1-week bly, right? Like a pass for like a week.
No, they're not going to give her a 1 week safety. They're not going to give her that.
No, you think she's coming back in and that's.
They're going to give her the Kaser treatment if they have their way. You come in, you're right back out. Drive-through treatment, coach.
Hilarious.
You feel me? Drive-through treatment. All right, let's get to another question, ladies and gentlemen. I know y'all got shit popping. Rod asks, did you peep JC already trying to throw Brett under the bus to Tyler on the feeds? Well, no, we're actually performing this live, so we can't answer that.
Yeah, hey, no. shout out to JC. You know, do what he got to do, man. That's the game, man. You got.
Yeah, he's playing. See, at the end of the day, I can't knock a guy for playing the game.
No, I can't. Like,
I'll knock you for other things, but I will never knock you for playing that game.
JC's move of inserting jealousy and creating that love triangle, it's definitely, I would say,
ingenious.
One of the best moves of the season.
Yes. I mean, it was like on some Agamemnon type shit, Achilles type shit. He got in between Haley of Troy and Paris. You know, he got in between both of them and was like, look,
some of the best references I have to say you've made tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes,
for
sir.
those that get it, you might miss it, might go over your head, but for the real man, amazing.
And check out that Troy Fall of a City on Netflix. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's lit. Okay, Jordan Johnson asks, if Bailey wins Battle Back, do you think she's going to be kissing Level 6's ass again, or is she coming for blood?
I think she's got to come for blood, man. You
She has to.
you already tasted defeat. You already talked to Julie. You don't
You ain't
want
got
to
nothing to lose.
You ain't gonna see her again, so you might as well come and start, off with their heads on some Queen Bailey stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta come for the juggler, and now you gotta come to game because you know what it's like to leave the house. So I think when you leave and now whoever comes back in, I hope they come hard, man.
I want Bailey to go
hard.
after Tyler, get him on that block, and just follow around the house. Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Tyler did her dirty. So I know she's definitely.
Did, though.
They got and even like how like you don't want to piss a black woman off. That's one thing I know. You don't want to piss anyone off, but you piss off her, they coming for you. So I know.
Swaggy, he's built to handle that. Tyler was never built, and that's why it went the way it went. You feel me?
That's why you had to wear the glasses and kind of like, you know what I mean?
Oh, and I do have another question I forgot to ask you earlier. I'm not trying to jump in front of the chat, but they might have this idea on their heads. What are the odds, do you think, that we will see a Big Brother Canada player on the challenge one day?
Nah, they ain't doing. They doing my girl Davon dirty on the challenge too. They're trying to make it sound like Big Brother people are lesser than MTV people. Did y'all catch that shit? Like
rookie mistake.
Yeah, they're trying to shade my girl. Shout out to Mama Day. Mama Day in my DMs too. Salute her. Real girl. You know what I mean?
Let's be real though. It took Big Brother players to be infused into that game for them to start making the voting anonymous. Yeah. So really it took Big Brother for it to become a real game.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because up until that point, it was just strictly, oh, well, none of us, if anyone's coming with bananas, it's almost like coming at Tyler. We'll have 80 dudes after us. So let's all let bananas make it halfway through and try to snipe them later. That's basically every season since Invasion or something. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely think a Big Brother Canada player could wind up on a challenge season, especially if there's a U.S. versus Canada season of Big Brother.
I think there's definitely someone's got to do an international merger. You know what I mean?
Yes. Because you have to expose Canadian players to the U.S. market first. Then it'll be easy to just pipeline them right around.
And then even the UK players too. You know what I mean? So there's definitely there's a lot of players out there. Shout out to my even when I was I did a lot of research when I was getting ready to be on the show. So shout out to the African version, the Filipino version of Big Brother. Like there's definitely players all over the world. So maybe you take 2 people from each country, have a real international flavor and make it, see what happens,
If only they had thrown Genuine on your season. You probably would have had a good job. You probably would have had a good time, low key. They wouldn't have came after you, bro. All right. Cade Black asks, if Scotty comes back into the house, what do you think would be a good move for him to stay?
You know what? Scotty did a lot of damage control on his way out. I feel like by him doing that damage control might be to his benefit coming back into the house, depending on who in the house is still there. Scotty's comp or Scotty's HOH, he was flawless, bro. Like he won, he played really hard, and then even the spinning, like you saw how hard he can go when it comes to comps. So maybe with the right comp and the right situation, I think him coming in, winning it, hopefully getting some power might he might be able to ease his way through and then expose people that I don't think going after Sam is really earning any stripes anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If there's one flaw in Scotty's HOH, I stand by this. Why did he nominate Winston if he wanted Brett to go? Like, I keep thinking in my head, why did he think Winston wouldn't stay over Brett?
Yeah. It's hard because that was
would stay, my fault.
Yeah. That was week 3, right? So week 3, he was still kind of unsure.
Right after Swaggy left. So he should have known that Tyler ain't shit. He should have known right there. You feel what I'm saying? So my thing is, if you want Brett to go, nominate Tyler and Brett right then and there. Okay, if Scotty won the veto anyway, now it's highly probable Tyler could have won the veto. But the point is, Tyler wins veto. Now he has to take himself off. But if Tyler would have got picked for that veto, he could have took Brett off. Now you got Winston sitting next to whoever, and maybe Winston still goes home. But the point is, you wanted Brett to go, and at best, you should have had Tyler go. But I think Winston leaving on that HOH. And I'm not trying to blame Scotty for what happened after that HOH, because like we said, it was a masterclass of an HOH outside of the fact that the person he wanted to go home didn't go. But yeah, honestly, what I'm worried about with Scotty returning, he'll want revenge on Faisal more than he'll want revenge on the other side.
Yeah.
I can see.
Yeah. He's trying to get rid of Faisal and take his thing.
Because the best way for him to lay low and possibly make the end is to convince everyone, I just want revenge on Faisal. So he nominates Faisal. He nominates Haley to prove to everyone he's no longer attached to her. But in reality, he wants Haley to stay, Faisal to go. If I'm anyone on level 6, I'm keeping Faisal to go after Scotty because Haley could actually work with Scotty at this point further. Faisal won't. So then Scotty's against the 8 ball even further because now the people he tried to convince that he was gonna work with to target Faisal stays. Then they show him that they're not working with him. Now he knows he's even more ostracized than he was the week he was really acting weird this week. And now there's no Haley left in the game. It's the final 8, and now you got 7 people against Scotty. It's like, bro, I'm worried that he's gonna fall into that trap.
So right now, the biggest threat in the game is Tyler. Are we in agreement to that?
We can agree to that 100%.
Okay, so hopefully you'll come in and realize that, hey, this is the person I need to take out. It's about clout. It's about taking out the big dog, right? So if you have a chance to get back in the game, why don't you snipe and shoot for the head, right? Don't take out the minions. Take out the head. Shout out to the minion that JC was humping too, by the way.
Yeah, that's a scary sight right there. I'm like, JC, what are you doing? I don't know. Maybe that's what got him on the show. That could have been his audition tape, and we could be playing. People could be playing a joke with us right now. This is Stevie. Yeah, man, like damn. Okay, coach, we can get it popping. Okay, we have another question from Tempest Prime. Does Angela have the guts to take out Tyler, and who will take out JC in your opinion?
That's a tough one. I don't think Angela might have the guts because she kind of has this rep as the cold-blooded killer, that she's emotionally unattached. And then I saw some live feeds of Tangela, which is, of course, Tyler and Angela snuggling a bit. And Tyler was the big spoon and Angela was the small spoon. And she seemed a bit disinterested. So I think that she might.
You think she's not feeling it?
I think she might be more focused than him in terms of what that budding showmance might be. So, like when you back in, you used to date a girl, like, stuff, either she liked you more or you liked her more. You know what I mean? So I feel like he kind of likes her a bit more. So he might be the person that might get the short end of that stick. Just my. So
could Tyler become Faisal?
Bro, it's lonely in that house. And if you're used to moving a certain way with women and getting a certain amount of energy, attention, or action, you know what? Men are weak, bro. Men are weak with certain stuff like that. And some of y'all women smell wonderful. So if you smell good, you look good. I ain't seen a girl in about 60 days. You know what? You shoot your shot, and then maybe that might be the wrong time for you to be doing that. So you know, it's definitely the wrong time for anyone to be catching feelings now. But at the end of the day, like, what are you trying to win? You're trying to win your girl. You're trying to win this money, man. So,
in my opinion, I think Tyler and Angela are very similar to Derek and Kayla, where it's like the girl is looked at as the one who's more like, get the job done by any means. The guy is looked at as this social king, where it's like he doesn't do anything to piss off anyone. And it's almost, I could definitely see a scenario where they turn on KC and she goes out as angry as Erica was towards Derek and Kayla. I could see that scenario because I don't see Angela and Tyler being in the final 4. Let's say Sam is sitting there. I don't see them taking KC over Sam anywhere. I don't see them taking KC over JC anywhere because I think they believe they can beat JC at the final HOH comps over KC. Like I don't see them taking KC. Well, they'll probably take her over Brett if that's the choice. But yeah, that's really like the only person I see them taking KC over. Really, is probably Brett.
So the least threatening person in the house right now, you would say is JC or KC?
I'd say the least threatening. It's probably Faisal, if we're being honest.
Oh,
I think people look at him as a guy who doesn't understand the game, so they're not threatened by his gameplay. But no, you're probably right. It's probably Sam. Sam's probably one, and I'd probably drop it to maybe Faisal 2, KC 3. Now they might perceive JC though, like you're saying. They might perceive him as the second one behind Sam, though.
Yeah.
Like he's harmless. He hasn't won anything. And we got to give this season credit. Has this been the first ever season? Because this is the first time. Like, we're literally, week 10 now almost? No, week 9? Well, it's 8 people at week 8, I mean. Yeah. So, week 8 now. This is the first time we've had someone win an HOH for a second time. The first time. Everyone has been a first-time HOH until this week. That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Insane.
Good mix of competitions, good mix of energy. So we'll see what happens.
Imagine if the White Room would have won all them HOHs in BB Can 6. The Red Room would have got flexed on.
You know what? We had our chances, bro. Like, I look back at this. I know I try not to look back, but I know like it really could have changed on Ryan's HOH if Ryan didn't nominate myself or Hamza and took a shot at the Red Room, and then the following week Hamza won that HOH. And then the following, you know what I mean? We were good. We had a little run.
Erica would have definitely been on y'all side too.
Yeah.
If you and Hamza was still in the game after a Hamza HOH,
sure.
For sure.
Oh, for sure. But Ryan messed up, and even for himself too. Like, it's like, but hey, man.
It's hard to put yourself in Ryan's shoes. It's really hard to put yourself in Ryan's shoes.
I can put myself in Ryan's shoes because I will say this: I ain't no punk, and I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I wouldn't take all these house meetings, bro.
I tried to let him off easy. He said, "Wait a minute, hold up, no, wait a minute."
Ryan's my guy, and listen, I stayed at his house with his family. Shout out to Corey, shout out to Carter. Happy belated birthday, Carter, his son. But I would have definitely not have punked out by saying, "Oh, everyone wants you." I'm like, nah. Ryan is my boy. I'm a rock with my boy. And who else? What else y'all got? Who else y'all naming? That's just how I move. I ain't, bro. They would have. Listen, man.
Ryan, man. At the end of the day, Ryan, I hope you're allowed to come back to atone for that, bro. Because I would hate for a super fan to have to live with that. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're a true fan of the game, I would hate for that to be the last, that to eat away at you. I would like someone to get a chance to atone for that somehow.
He's Canada's favorite, man. He's good, man. And people love Ryan in Calgary. Where Ryan is from, bro, like.
Well, you did say he does CFL work, so yeah.
Yeah, and he also does MMA commentary as well. Ryan's, and he's he just got promoted to his job too. So he's Ryan
finna be on that Joe Rogan shit. So
okay. Ryan has amazing calls too when the man gets.
He does have a good voice for radio though. He really does. I can peep out the game.
Yeah, he's good.
Definitely. All right, so I got a funny question for you. Someone asks, "Will the battle back be the puzzle Caitlyn couldn't complete?" Shout outs to I Want My Slaw.
Shout outs. That's a roast. But hey, man, people are saying that was the easiest battle or the easiest. How many? 8 pieces, 7 pieces in that puzzle, and then you saw it already put together, and all you had to do is just move the puzzle through the door. You put it in head, torso, legs, and you put it back together, legs, torso, head. But hey, man,
they thought that shit was easy too. They was like, "Oh my God, let's give her an extra minute and a half because you can do this in a minute. Yeah. Let's give her 2.5."
But like I said, like you never know what is going on until you're in that situation, and then you freak out, man. Like
it is pressure.
It's pressure. You see the numbers counting down. You see the
the whole world's only watching you too.
Man, listen. I don't talk. Listen, I try not to talk shit about any of the house guests because I know when you're in there, it's a totally different thing. And as an alumni, like I said, I'm not trying to roast people, but like I felt for her, beautiful girl, namaste to her. But hey, man, so the game goes sometimes,
Well, I'll tell you this, Drew. If they ever do what they almost did with Jace when they put someone from the U.S. in BB Canada, I'll apply for BB Can. Let me know if they looking at that.
Listen,
I will definitely go there.
You can stay at my place in Toronto for a couple of weeks. Just pull up the auditions, you know what I mean? And
it's definitely lit.
Just pretend, just say, I was visiting my brother,
Yeah, I'm definitely, man. I'm right by the border. You feel a dig me? I'm from Chicago. You know, it's like 7 hours, man. I'm here. What's popping? You know what I mean?
Well, let me ask you about Chicago though.
Yes, sir.
What's going on in Chirac? Is it really? It's really like that out there, eh? No
It's not really like that, bro. Like if I'm being completely honest with you, bro, it's all propaganda. I think it's an excuse for martial law to commence. I think they're looking for an excuse for martial law to be brought back to the forefront. And what better way to do that than to act like we're all a bunch of hooligans that can't control ourselves? And now I'm not saying the people that are involved in the violence where they are receiving the end of it or where they're giving the beginning of it. I'm not saying that this is fake, but I definitely think to a certain extent it is being pushed in the news as heavy as it is to serve an agenda. And that's my problem, because I can go to a hood in Chicago right now for whatever reason, and as long as you know how to conduct yourself as a human being, don't nobody look to cause violence to you, no matter where you are. It's about knowing your surroundings, no matter what. I bet you there's hoods and ghettos in Toronto that an American could be in, and they would think they in Compton or Watts. At the end of the day, it's about the people in that bubble, you know, and we're not much different from one another, you know, and it takes all of us to be around different people to realize that, you know, real talk.
1,000%,
1,000, bro. All right, we're gonna get to another question, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, all right, Tiny Demons, you from Chicago? Get it popping in, coach.
Shout out to Chicago. Y'all still rock with Derrick Rose out in Chicago or not?
I'm gonna be honest, man. It's been on the abandoned side of the game. Now he's opened up some Giordano's here and there, but in terms of us buying any more of that gear, it's a wrap. I feel bad for Adidas though. They still paying that man.
Yeah,
they still paying that man.
You got a big contract, and his shoes are.
Yeah, I think he had like a 10-year deal or something like that. They still paying. I had to sell my D Rose 5 boosts. So I couldn't. I was worried I'd injure myself. You feel me, on the block? I was like, you know what? It ain't even worth being flying these. You know what I'm saying?
Knees, you know, is a wrap.
I didn't want to go out like a chunk, coach. Okay, here's a great question from Tempest Prime. Who do you think will be the one that takes out JC in this game?
Well, you know, there is going to be a time where they have to turn on themselves. So I would say KC would definitely take out JC. I also can see.
You think she would take out the partner who's in the LGBT with her? I think that would look bad.
You think that they're gonna link up? They're. I don't think they're that close. Are they tighter like that? Like they would, bro.
Well, like JC said, she would choose Tyler and Angela over him, but that would take a Final Four scenario for her to take him out, in my opinion, right? Whereas I think, truthfully, I don't think she wants to be the one to have the optics to look like she's the one who cheated another gay person out of a finale. I think she's gonna feel like she owes that to them.
There's some sort of loyalty within the community.
Exactly. And if she owes that to him even a little bit, the question is, who does she turn on before him? I think Sam will go fast in Casey's mind, but let's say this is a Final Four scenario, but the LGBT aspect is weighing hard on her conscience. Who does she really get rid of? Tyler or Angela? I don't know. That's tough.
So Sam's targets, I'm sure it varies.
Yes. Sam's targets is basically Casey, Angela, pretty much any person with some ovaries. That's who she's targeting. If you have a set, she will not target you.
That's wild, eh? Like, you know what? Like Sam's character, I think a lot of people felt sorry for early in the game. Of course, the robot twist was something that, you know, I felt bad for her as well. Definitely very isolating. But then when she got her HOH and then made that speech, and she, you know, even when the all-female alliance was something that was on the cusp of developing, it seems like, you know, that she was just like, F that. Y'all women acting kind of hoish. Y'all ain't cooking and cleaning. You're hanging off these men.
She's a harlot.
She'd
be tripping.
Yeah. But hey, man,
I just don't get it, man. I mean, like, man, it's Big Brother, man. Showmances are a staple of the game. Like, for you to come on this show and then try to make it seem like budding showmances are all of a sudden like demonic and devilish. It's like what game did you sign up for? We make fun of Faisal for signing up for a game that he doesn't want people to lie in. But what about her? She's signing up for a game and she wants unrealistic stuff.
She definitely did not know what she was getting herself into. But you know what? Hey, that's the guest.
But she getting that money though. She getting that money. I bet you being part of a twist gets you some extra money too, probably. You having to do that robot shit. I bet you she probably did get some bread off that because that's some test dummy shit. I bet you. And see, that's another problem I got with Drew because we were under the impression week 1 that they would bring that robot back every week and someone new had to do it. So we thought it was like, oh, this is good because that means each week it's almost like a have-not where you're stripped of your humanity for a week and you have to figure out a way to keep yourself in good standing. And I thought they were going to rotate it or maybe compete for, and whoever's last or something has to keep doing it. Something to that effect. The fact that they just threw it out makes me 100% believe, Drew, that this was all just a Trojan horse to get her that first power app. Because what other way can she be in all dimensions than for her to be the robot? I mean, it's just I'm just adding 1 + 1, coach. You feel me? Like I don't even feel like my tinfoil hat is up that high. You
well, it's funny, like even in our season, like a lot of people were like, well, the heaven and hell twist was just for the beginning of the game, and then there was no other heaven and hell reference for the entire game. It went from heaven to hell to the medieval version of Big Brother to like a sort of island theme. Like, there's a lot of various things, but hey, man.
Well, at least the whole house did look kind of like heaven up top and hell at the bottom.
The house looked kind of lit still. The house was popular. Kind of fun. Kind of fun.
Yeah, man. That's the one thing about Canada that they get right amazingly. The design. I mean, beautiful, beautiful work. And you could tell that Big Brother tried to switch it up and be more like them this year because they got like the video game, Super Nintendo controller pillows and shit. What's going on, coach?
The sliding wall, like the rock wall, the thing they get the yellow thing, the pins and needle game thing. You know, you get the press on. I don't even know what that's called, but super cool.
Man, I forgot the rock wall existed. Man, it seemed like ever since Swaggy left, no one uses that rock wall. You feel me? It's like, it's a curse. Don't use it.
Don't touch that.
Swaggy used to do that shit 80 times in like 20 minutes and just smack the top of it. I'm like, Swaggy, why are you trying to show these people that you will kill shit? Leave it alone. I need you to chill.
But you know how we are, bro. Like, man, just want to do.
He wanted to show off in front of his lady. You know what I'm saying? That's like I'm gonna show you why you picked me over Tyler. Like that's what that was about. You know what I'm saying? I get that part, but damn, don't do it in front of everyone.
Shout out to my G Swaggy. You know what?
Yeah, man. I hope you come back, Swaggy.
Yeah, he's definitely coming back. They know he.
Don't let them put me and Swaggy on the same season. I keep saying this. Do not let that happen, Coach.
I can't
substitute me with Faisal. It's gonna be a problem.
I can't wait to see a black person I know on the show, bro. Either you or a couple other characters that I know on Twitter, like y'all. I can't wait to see y'all mans in there.
If I happen to be on the season with anyone from Twitter, even if you got me blocked, Coach, I'm gonna let bygones be bygones because we need each other. All right. Like trust me, I'm not going in that game with no burnt bridges, boy. I got my extinguisher on deck.
Have you been blocked by Elena? That's how you know you're a real big. Has Elena blocked you?
I don't think I've been blocked by Elena. I've been blocked by Jose, a few other beta males, but no, I haven't been blocked by Elena yet. I can't say that I have. You know what I'm saying? I think that's because I don't really follow Elena. So the only time I know when she's being shitted on is when another former house gets shits on her. Or Alex Kidwell, shout outs to him, he shits on her. Or Jesse. Jesse been shitting.
Yeah,
Jesse been shitting on her.
I was good because we have a Big Brother 6 Snapchat. I was gonna hit
up
Jesse's wild, eh?
I ain't gonna lie. With Jesse was part of the reason that you went home. I ain't like him, so I wanted him to go home next. But I ain't gonna lie. After the game was over, I'm like, you know what? I rock with Jesse, man. I like his energy, bro.
It's funny. Like I had no beef with Jesse until I got out of the house, and one of my boys was like, bro. You went like when Jesse got evicted. They film in Toronto, so when Jesse got evicted, I pulled up to where he was at. Brought a few hors d'oeuvres of sorts for us to enjoy, and my boy's like, "You went to see Jesse? Jesse talked the most shit about you." I'm like, "Word?" But when I saw Jesse, bro, he ain't have the same energy, But it's how it goes, bro.
Yeah, you know how it goes, man.
I'm used to people
recalibrating.
I'm used to people talking crazy behind my back, bro. You know how it goes.
And see, that's the thing, though. Like, I'm hard on a lot of these players, but I know if I was in their shoes, man, as soon as I got out, people would want this tell-all rant, and I'd be like, man, give me some time.
Yeah,
I need to unwind.
Yeah, you need. Definitely need a moment.
Definitely, man. All right, let's get to some more questions. 5 more questions, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna let Brother Drew go ahead and go, but we will definitely bring him back. He has an open door policy.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely open door policy. Drew can always come back. Hamza could come whenever he wants. Wearing anybody who wants to come through.
Have you hit them up? Have you hit them up?
No, like I told you, I try not to be on the clout chasing side of the game. You know what I'm saying? See, me and you, we was cool initially without it having this having to be mentioned, the channel, none of that. Then all of a sudden you showed up in the live chat one day. I said, what? That's what I was like, oh, man, it's real up in there.
I'm full of love, man. It's love.
My guy.
I'll tell him to pull up on you.
All right, that's a bet. Your girl Selena for life sends in a question. She says, am I the only person who does not believe in pawns? If I'm HOH, I never would put someone on the block that I can't see leaving the game. What are your thoughts? Great question.
I definitely would not. I don't do the pawn stuff. I would have took people out that I don't like or people that I'm not rocking with. You know what I mean? You never know. And of course, Big Brother, pawns go home. So Selena, you're absolutely right. Like I wouldn't put allies of mine on the block. I wouldn't put anyone that wasn't, I wouldn't put anyone who. If you got my back, I got yours. So I wouldn't make you sit there just to be like, hey, I'm gonna put you up, but you're safe this week. Fuck that shit. If I'm safe, don't put me up. Put people up you don't like. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. I think the whole perspective of pawns was created by floaters or beta males. You know, it's like at the end of the day, unless it's really early in the game. See, I can see someone looking for a pawn early in the game. Like, let's say you're the first HOH. You don't have nothing to judge no one on. You got to be cognizant of, I can't nominate this black guy, I look racist. I can't nominate this gay person, I look like a homophobe. I can't nominate this older person, I look like a ageist. I don't know the word for that. But yeah, like, so you have to kind of play this middle ground of, all right, well, let me look for a social problem, or let me just look for a reason. And when you got people looking for reasons instead of just playing the game that they intended to play, then you have a lot of people lying about their game from the start. And once you start on a lie, you must continue that lie.
Agreed.
Now, Tyler, I'll give him credit. As first HOHs go, he's had one of the best. I'd argue he's had that same Hayden trajectory from a first HOH, where you can almost get away with murder by being the first one based off of all the shit that went down your HOH week because of all of the swaggy stuff. And I wanted to mention this to you as well, sir, because I mentioned during tonight's episode, I heard Scotty say something to the effect of, well, Faisal technically turned on me first because he didn't use the veto to save Steve. But see, here's my thing, Drew. If he uses that veto to save Steve, Bailey gets backdoored, and now his best friend girlfriend is out the house day one. And now Tyler, maybe he looks like a racist for backdooring the black girl. We don't know that. Most likely not. But my point is, Scotty, you weren't even in Fauteuil at that moment. So why did Faisal owe that to you? And why are you now using that as the excuse for why he turned on you first? See, that's my problem with Scotty, his lack of accountability. What's your thoughts on that?
No, definitely. Like, there's no loyalty, I believe, to begin the game. Like, people, like you said, people are definitely looking for a reason, and no one owed anything. You know what I mean? So I think you're absolutely right. Like, you can't just kind of use old, I don't know, methods, but just like, your boy's gone, bro. All right, he's gone. On to the next. Like, you're good. You're still here. You know what I mean? You got to keep it moving, keep it pushing. And even I feel like some would say even Fauteuil even took the swaggy battle too far. You know what I mean? Like, if Faisal wasn't so clouded on getting revenge for Swaggy, maybe he would have realized that there are bigger targets than to target Scotty. And Scotty going home on his HOH is not a win for Faisal. You know what I mean?
And let's be real, he didn't really want revenge for Swaggy because he wasn't targeting Caitlyn outright after she did it. Right?
Exactly.
He was actually trying to get back in good with her, and Haley actually chewed him out for that, and Bailey for that matter. So it just goes to show all of these house guests are full of shit. They whip out excuses when it's convenient, but that's Big Brother.
I'm waiting to see Haley jump. I'm waiting to see Haley jump ship. That's what I really want to see. I think that she's pretty.
You think it happens this week now with this Angela HOH?
Yeah, she's gonna be jumping ship real quick, and she's gonna try to distance herself from Faisal. But I think it's still not going to work out for her. So we'll see. All
right, Drew. Let's say Faisal wins veto. Does he take Haley off or does he take himself off? $1 million question.
Yo, he got to save himself. He did that already, bro. He already saved her, bro.
That's true.
And you know what I mean? He saved her already. And she, do you think she was grateful? I guess he did. He had secured the relationship, and
she gave him more TLC.
Yeah. He got the love
So
for it, so it did work.
she made him feel like she was
Yeah.
grateful.
FaZe was getting killed on Twitter too for being
Oh yeah,
sort of misogynist by saying that because I saved you, you owe me this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not a good look.
You know what I
It
mean?
isn't a good look.
It's a tough spot either way. But hey, man, if I save a girl, yeah, you might owe me a little something. Just say it.
Yeah, I mean, damn, it's that simple. Now, if we are legit flirting with each other and kicking it, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna give you the ultimatum, but I do need to know, hey, both of y'all are my friends. Yeah. Now, are you trying to be more than that? Because that will dictate what I do with this veto. Because I mean, at the end of the day, let's be real. He didn't have to use the veto on her at the time. She probably stays anyway over Caitlyn. And Caitlyn probably still chokes that competition to get back in the house. And Faisal is probably not perceived as the showman's with Haley if he doesn't use the veto on her. So all of these things had ramifications down the road.
Definitely.
No doubt.
Can I shout out the people that are watching this right now? Can y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel?
Definitely.
Definitely
subscribe to those Miller boys, y'all.
Those Miller boys on YouTube. Y'all right there. Now just go hit the subscribe button, or do it later. Or also my Instagram. Try to get my followers up. Not that it matters.
The Miller boys are definitely part of the RBR family, Coach, man. Show them some love, y'all.
Hit a brother up. Let him,
Definitely, man. They be doing the vlog game. They be killing it.
I got a vlog coming from my time out in Calgary for the Stampede. Like I said, I hung out there with Ryan, so that's another big brother thing. I got also some wonderful stuff coming up as well. I can't speak about it. I signed a non-disclosure agreement, but when it drops, you'll be like,
power moves. Let's get it popping. Black excellence. Truly yours.
Just trying to represent for the people.
Yes, sir. So we got another question. 3 questions left after this one from Son of Shango. Who do you think deserves for AFP? Or better yet, who are you campaigning for AFP? Because your voice holds some clout.
You know what? I saw that Swaggy was saying that he doesn't want anyone to vote for him and wants everyone to vote for Bailey. I was like, man, that's super honorable. That's super great. I like Bailey. I know America probably doesn't like Bailey as much as I like Bailey. But hey, man, vote for Bailey, yo. Or you know what? Whoever comes back in of this twist, vote for that person. Because obviously that person,
you got a point. That extra visibility spike will probably help them win, like Vic did in BB18.
But I also thought when Cody won America's favorite player, who was really voting for Cody? That was a weird one for me.
A lot of conservative America.
Yeah.
A lot of anti-kneeling America. Let's call a spade a spade. A lot of bigot America.
Hey man.
And a lot of showmance America. So he had those 4 demographics that follow Big Brother all voting for him.
So therefore,
and he had the anti-Paul. Let me also say that the anti-Paul.
Yeah, he was going up far.
Because I voted for Cody because I didn't like the blackface shit. I said I'll be damned.
Come on, come on.
Wait a minute! I just ignited a fire, Coach. Let's get it popping.
Sometimes you forget shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Paul's a sucker.
And see, that's why I had such a problem with people voting for Kevin Schluber for AFP, because he grew up in the era of civil rights, and he should have known better than to allow blackface to happen in front of him. And everyone kind of gave him a pass for that. And I'm like, bro, what is wrong? Why does it seem like I'm the only one that's keeping it a buck right now? Right? Bernardo, what's your thoughts on that, my brother?
Shout out to Kevin. Kevin's my guy. Kevin shows a lot of love. I'll probably end up linking up with him. He wants to do something out in Birmingham, Alabama. I ain't never been to Alabama, so I might, but Kevin's a good dude. I respect the OGs. Paul, can I say this? Maybe some people are so out of touch and so misinformed. I'll tell a quick story. I had a buddy that I went to school with, an Asian gentleman, who decided to dress as a Rastafarian for Halloween one year. And, I had no problem with anyone wearing the wig. But then he decided to take it a little further and do like the chocolate face paint as well. So me, I had to get it.
Pull him to the side.
I did it publicly on Facebook, and then he hit me up and apologized and was very remorseful. I still haven't spoken to him in years, but sometimes you got to make an example out of people for them to really understand the seriousness of the situation. You know what I mean? So,
And
you know, I
ignorance can't be an excuse all
yeah.
the time.
Oh
You know
no,
what I
definitely
mean?
not.
When
No,
you get
definitely
to a
not.
certain age, you're aware of these things. Now, you might choose to ignore them, but that's not ignorance because you chose to ignore it.
No, you're just, you know, hey man, I check people on their bullshit every day. I try not to because,
Yeah.
you know, Lord knows you don't want my black ass yelling at
But
everybody, and I try to
but the
keep
only
it
reason
around.
why I hold these people accountable is because what I saw Haley do for Bailey. She didn't have to go out of her way to say, "Hey, I'm the hacker." But
Yeah,
my thing on this, Andrew, is if we had more people that were as courageous as Haley was in that moment
agreed,
since the start of Big Brother, then
agreed.
we would not even be in this position to even need this channel.
I agree. I
You
agree a
feel
thousand
me?
percent. If diversity was respected and understood, you know, there wouldn't be any. And what do y'all think about only having two people of color per? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's
I
that's
think
my
I
guess. You
think
know
they
what I mean?
gotta spice that up, man.
Yeah,
You know, and I think they're scared to do a Cook Islands Big Brother. I've always pitched this. I said, look, Cook Island Survivor, for better or for worse, there's rumors behind it saying that the white tribe was demolishing everyone, so production had to reverse the outcome by giving
yeah,
Yule this Tyler Perry idol. You know, there's a lot of rumors behind that. But let's just stick on what it on the surface, what that season did. The season made more people interested in Survivor. Yeah,
yeah,
it pissed off a lot of people initially,
yeah.
but eventually they got glued to it. Why? Because up until that point, we never had a Yule. Up until that point, we never
No,
had an Ozzy. We were never given the opportunity to see
no,
these
no,
other
no,
people
no,
from
for
other
sure.
backgrounds shine. And see, if you do allow it to be equal, trust me, it's not just to help the black man and the black woman,
No,
the
no, for sure.
Latino man, Latino woman,
No, for sure.
the Asian man, Asian
Yeah,
woman. Anybody can have equal opportunity, and that's
for
all
sure.
we're asking for, right? That's the American dream, right? Why can't
Uh-huh.
that be the Big Brother dream? I'm about
Make
to
sure
run
y'all
for
go.
office.
Make sure y'all go see Crazy Rich Asians too. You know, support
I
diversity
heard
at the
it's
box office
lit.
as well. I'm
Yeah,
going
I
to
heard it's
tomorrow.
lit. I'm
I'm
gonna
going to
check that
tomorrow.
out, and don't and go see Black Klansman as well because I just saw that on Tuesday.
Yeah, I heard
Popping.
you pushing. I heard y'all pushing that. I seen your tweets today.
Woo!
Yeah,
That movie.
jokes, eh?
Woo! Man, hey, Spike Lee mixed in a lot of.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spoil nothing, but he mixed in a lot of present time stuff to add context to what happened back then.
I
So,
gotta
and
go.
then
I gotta go charge. I gotta go
so
charge my phone before I die. We're right back.
okay, cool, bro,
Carry on.
cool.
Give me like two. Give me like 2 seconds.
All right, no doubt. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, check out that Black Klansman and check out that Crazy Rich Asians. We need to go ahead and look out for all of these other communities trying to do new things out here. You know, I think it's only positive for all of us when everyone has a chance in this community, you know. But that's how I truly feel. And by the way, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. The video ain't over, but don't forget to like, okay? Don't
I'm
forget.
back. I'm back. I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
All right, we're back. Okay,
You
I'm
guys want
looking
to?
through I'm looking at questions, but go ahead.
I'm about to. You know, for the next people that subscribe to my channel, I'm gonna do a giveaway. I'm gonna give away a piece of Big
Uh-oh.
Brother memorabilia here. I have my
Oh, that's
veto
dope.
chip as well. You know my name, so you know I'm gonna give it away. I also got my Big Brother Canada bag as well. Let me
Okay,
plug
that's
in my code
clean.
for you. You know I got a
That's
couple
clean.
goodies. I'm gonna bless the streets with. You know what I mean? Authentic Canadian reality television memorabilia, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's clean. That's collector's item. That's like 20 years from now, you know, when Andrew comes back in the All-Star season and dominates and wins. You know, we finna have that on deck. They finna be like, what is this? A coaster? We'd be like, no, bruh. This is memorabilia. This is something OJ would go to jail for in Vegas. But no, yeah, no doubt, bro. Hey, y'all be sure to subscribe. I'm about to unsubscribe and resubscribe just so I can
There
get
you
in
go.
with
There
this.
you go. There you go.
No, I'm bullshit. I'm gonna stay subscribed. All right. Okay. Okay. I don't. Well, I'm not gonna ask that question. Okay. 3 more questions left. I'm scrolling up trying to see if there's something that I missed. Um. Okay. She already asked that. It seems like they are pretty much set on the questions. Do you? Okay. Oh, never mind. Okay. Selena for Life does have another question. Do you guys notice the different energy Fessy has towards Haley? It seems like he is not as interested as he was. He is snappy with her now all the time. Do you think there's anything to that?
Well, you know, you've been in the house with these people for a very long time. You know, you've told the same stories. They know your family by now. So maybe sometimes it's like, you know, unless we're talking about something totally different, I ain't trying to hear. I'm tired of it. You know, I think it's, and I think you guys see it on the feeds too. I see it too. Like it's a little, a bit more quiet. You know what I mean? It's a bit more
Mm.
hijinks. And there's less sharing. It's more just like hanging out. You know what I mean? But you're in the house for a very long time. You've already had about what 2 months now in terms of conversations and chats. Y'all ain't got no TV, ain't got no cell phone. Y'all ain't got nothing to talk about except what y'all have going on in the house. So unless Big Brother gives you something more to speak about, you ain't got much to talk about,
Yeah,
bro.
this might be the time for them to implement some secret tasks.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
for sure.
something to fill out these episodes a little bit better. Now, I'm pretty sure they're banking on the battle back filling out most of Thursday's episode, but I mean, after the way they just completely nuked Wednesday's episode this past week, I'm a little worried about how they're going to start editing this. If they're just going to get lazy and say, "Hey, we could always do a flashback on Sunday, so let's just bullshit them on Thursday." I'm a little worried about that part, but all in all, that was all the questions that we had. I am so thankful and so relieved that way my brother Drew came through. You feel me? Is there any message that you would like to leave the good people of RBR with as we close?
You know what, guys? I just want to say shout out to all the fans. You know, it's been wonderful getting to meet these personalities and characters. Shout out to all the trolls that have icons of like eggs or nothing that talk shit on Twitter. But you know what? For the love and the hate, I appreciate it all. Shout out to all the people that have seen me on the street, all the people that have shouted me out. I was at McDonald's the other day getting a burger, and the people freaked out like, "Yo, big brother, big brother!" You know, so that's what they call me when I pull up now. You know what I mean? And you know, to be able to
That's
use this,
dope, yo.
it's amazing and humbling at the same time. You know what I mean? So I'm just truly blessed to have the opportunity to be on the show. I tried to represent for people that looked like me, that spoke like me, that had the same upbringing that I have, and you know, I tried my best, guys. But you know what? Even though
Brother, you did a fantastic
I
job. You did a
even though I
fantastic
didn't
job of
win on the
showing
show,
class.
you know what? We still win in that life. So a lot more blessings coming, guys. So just stay blessed, be positive people, speak life into people, not negativity, and I guarantee you, life will be more blessed because of
Oh man, that was a great way to end it, Coach. So the last thing I got to ask you is,
that.
does Kawhi stay?
Oh, I'm a big Raptors fan. I'm a big basketball fan altogether. Definitely was very hard for me to see DeMar leave. I was very disappointed with how they handled the offseason as a Raptor fan.
Yeah, he
But
loved
you
that
know what?
team.
Masai did say years ago that they were going to be a reset, a cultural reset within the locker room. So, them getting rid of my coach, Coach Casey, who I love, great dude, real dude. Had a lot of great conversations with him when I had the opportunities to chat with him. Sad to see him go. DeMar, I think they handled that situation very poorly, especially because he had come out and said that he did struggle with, of course, some mental health issues and issues going on in his own personal life. So for them to kind of just do that, I felt was
To kick
disrespectful.
him
But
out like that, yeah.
it's just kind of and of course Masai being a black man, like come on, bro, give them. You could have handled that a little.
More
He knows that
communication.
he knew he fucked up that way. But hey, man, he's a businessman first, and the
Do you
business of
think
sport.
Drake can convince Kawhi that this is the market for him?
Drake has some baddies in the city waiting for Kawhi when he touches down.
It's
Drake
gonna be
got
like He Got Game with Ray Allen.
Drake is going to open up the Sure Club doors inside the Air Canada Center for Kawhi to come in. They've already hired his buddy as on the assistant coaching. So you know what? When I see Kawhi, I'm gonna hail him up, treat him very well. If he is a fraction of how he was 2 years ago, I think the Raptors will be in a very good position. But hey, man, I'm a loyal guy, so definitely, it's gonna take some time. What do you think? Kawhi is nice, bro. Defensively,
Oh
great
yeah.
player.
Oh man, I think he's
Offensively,
the
a great
second best
player.
player in the world, in
So
my
you think
opinion.
you think that it's a good move for Toronto in the city?
I think it's a fantastic move. Even if it's just a rental, you still clear a lot of cap space and start the rebuild immediately. I'd argue it was a similar trade to how the Bulls got rid of Jimmy Butler. Everyone was so mad. But
Yeah.
The thing is, even if you get rid of someone in their prime, okay, you take back a guy like Levine, right? And he's hurt, but okay, he's much younger. Your
Yeah.
window is now very much wide open now with Markkanen and Levine, and then you got Chris Dunn over there. They just drafted another big guy out of Duke, so they're building a nice roster. But I did want to ask you this question: what NFL team do Canadians root for?
Haha. I think most Canadians are Bill fans, Buffalo Bill fans. You know
Oh,
what I
that
mean?
makes sense.
I've made a couple of road trips over there, and I haven't been slammed through any tables or like anything set on fire pre-game because the Bills fans go extra hard with their whole
Yeah.
tailgating stuff. But no,
I heard
we're
OJ Simpson be at them tailgates now. Like he be going
we're
crazy. That's what I heard. I heard he be turning the fuck up at them tailgates.
shout out to Juice, baby. Shout out to
Yes,
Juice.
sir.
Not guilty, if you feel me. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
no, I think most Canadians would also, the CFL is also very popular here. Shout out to all the Canadian football fans, of course. But
I heard Johnny Manziel did terrible in that league.
yeah, Manziel's still catching a whooping. I don't think he's won yet. I could be wrong, but you got to ask podcaster Ryan. You know what? I'm gonna tell my boy Ryan to come check you out too. You gotta
My guy.
You gotta talk to Ryan. He'll talk your ear off 1,000, forever. But he's got a lot of funny stuff to say as well.
Man. I love talking with intellectuals, man. Yeah, I love it, man.
I'm gonna plug you in. I got a couple guys there. You gotta check this out.
But thank you once again, my brother Drew, for coming through. Thank you to the audience for being here live and listening to what we had to say. I am Dave Smith. This is Recency Bias Radio, where no one is safe from criticism. This is the 23rd rant left in the dark. This is Recency Bias Radio. Do you have one more thing that you would like to leave the guests with?
Hey, you look like my light-skinned buddy Hoots, by the way, Dave. You know what I mean? I know.
Oh, word? Oh, man, he's a very attractive young man, then.
Light-skinned brothers look the same. I know. I don't want to judge y'all. You know what I mean? But shout out to my guy Hoots. Shout out to you as well.
Hey, man, shout out to him, too, man. He's invited on the channel, too, man. We could be part of a twin twist for Big Brother Canada. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, man. But thank you so much, Drew, for coming through, bro. You will be brought. You can come through whenever you want, man. I truly mean it when I say it's an open door policy, man. No one is a guest no more once they come on.
My number anytime you need me to pull up, just shoot me a text and I'll pop up, bro. If I'm around, I got you.
I'm Joe Button in. We could pull up at any moment. Yeah. You feel it, so, ladies and gentlemen, I hope y'all have a great night. I will see you guys on Monday for yet another rant, and I will keep them notes nice and ready. Y'all watch these feeds, and please link me on anything that I might miss throughout this weekend. I'm Dave Smith. That's Andrew Miller, and this is Recency Bias Radio, baby, and we're out.